Hello. Oh god, that was a bad start. Hello everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Everyone who's popping in. How are you all if you are popping in? Let me find things. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I am going to be doing some casting of some Superdraft 2v2, and I remembered halfway through the timer to actually update to sort of confirm my title update rather than just have it like I edit the title and I forget to press done in OBS in stream information, and I just completely forget to have the new title. So everyone thinks I'm doing Custom Cup, and the VOD think I'm doing Custom Cup, but no, it's a Superdraft 2v2. Let's get cracking, and we're cracking with a Division 4 match. I got confused there for a second. Who am I? I'm doing sorry, I'm just trying to find the game. I'm trying to find the Rex to download, and it's been a bit tricky. Bear with. Sorry all. Rex. Maybe I was going the wrong way. Okay. Let's go through slow. We're doing pirate potatoes versus to be filled in. And I can't remember where they are. Oh, here they are. We've got it. Downloading Rex. Getting the map draft as well, and let me just... Aha! As if by cue, I have the Superdraft sieves. I prepared earlier. We also have the map draft in front of us, so let's go for the map draft first. So, MT Explorer is the pirate potatoes with Tom Snuffles, I believe. They have picked Forest Pond as their home map, while RPS, part of To Be Filled In with Namek, has picked Markareb as their home map. And they've all banned everything except for Hyper Random, which is going to be game 1. And it'd be interesting to see the Hyper Random set. I haven't seen a Hyper Random. Well, it's only one practice game. Haven't seen much in the way of Hyper Random. So that'd be fun to see. And Forest Pond I've seen a lot of. And Markareb I've seen some of, so it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to say the least. So that's the map. So we're going to think about Hyper Random first. Go away Windows. Now... Yep, okay, map draft go, bye. So, the civs, RPS and Namek on the left. Hello, Bruce. So, yeah, RPS and Namek, they have Britons, Franks, Celts, Poles, Dravidians, Burmese, Koreans, Chinese, Vietnamese, Persians, Italians, Sicilians, Burmese, Tatars. All of their 14 civs that they could pick for today, well, when they did set 2 weeks ago or whatever. But these are the civs they have available for Hyper Random, for Markareb, and for Forest Pond. So we'll see what they do. And then MT Explore and Tom Snuffles, they have this pirate potatoes. They have got under their belt, they have Gujaras, Malians, Hindustanis, Burmese, Britons, Japanese, Byzantines, Vikings, Burgundians, Teutons, Goths, Cumans, and Malay. So immediate points for having I want to see a double Teuton pick, obviously. How can you not? But for Hyper Random, let's think what they might go for Hyper Random. But first, how are you, Bruce? How are you doing? So So let's start to load some things in live capture age and all that palaver. Okay, oh no, that's why. It's like, I can't find them, where are they? It's because I downloaded them, but I haven't actually moved them to the saved game. It's like, I can't find them. I know they're old games, but I have no idea where finding them is. Okay. Put them in my save game folder, that'd be a good idea. Okay, so yep. Now let's load the Rex. I am good too. I've done some work today, and I am ready to cast. Oh, did you see? I saw King Boo play play his second set against Zark, other Zark. That I believe Chilean Zark. Well, when he plays a Q&A, which I think seems to be a very Chilean alliance guild clan. So I only saw like I learned how to play Lagoon, which might be a bit, which will come in handy for when I play that in my 7Ps. But Maghreb with Malians. I'm gonna say Malayans. Yeah, that'd be good because when we have practiced that. So if you're prepared to go for that, then by all means. Okay, now let's hope. Yep. So game on hyper random. That is correct game. Let's get that loaded and go to a capture age and let's try and hide everything. I can't see nothing. Honest. Staying true to my original form and hiding everything for myself. I realised that when I was doing this, I didn't actually have any audio come through my 10-minute starts because I didn't actually have Age of Empires 2 on. I just had capture age, so my clock was going with no background music. So hyper random. Well, I think hyper random. I think Gujarat is such a good hyper random civ. And so is Hindustanis, to be honest. But I feel like there's a sort of civs which you could do anything with. Marlin's also a good hyper random because of their versatility. But we might just see like classic Britain's Franks for to be filled in. I can't remember that. To be filled in could be at Britain's and Franks because that's such a good combo. And if it's like an Arabia sort of style start, it could be really good. But we'll dive in because I don't want to do too much theory crafting. Let's hide that. Where is it? That. Let's get on, crack on. So we have a interesting hyperrandom. Let me first, I'll just pause that and let's change this to that says top to be filled in. That says okay. We get there. We're getting there. My caps isn't working. And what's this called? Pirate potatoes. It'd probably just called potatoes. I'll probably just call this filled in. It'd be much easier. Much easier indeed than saying too many syllables. So with this hyperrandom setup, which is giving me Lumber Town vibes, to be honest, having two connected town centres by a path. But here we have an interesting generation hyperrandom. It's got vibes of Mediterranean. It's got vibes of. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's pause that because something's happening. Okay, it's got like a Mediterranean sort of vibes, but people are thinking there's a dock. I'm not sure. Like So like, do they have a stupid land dock? And MT Explorer is supposed to have a stupid land dock, but I can't see one. So I'm not sure what they're chatting about, to be honest. Let's go back. Just go into the game, into the chat. Oh, Tom Snuffles had a random dock spawn. I didn't notice that at the start. That is interesting. Is there any rubble? No idea. That is a weird start. Weird start indeed. I'm not 100% sure. And I can't rewind. So we'll crack on. We'll crack on. That's an interesting thing which I didn't notice. It's the land dog which they deleted. Just in fairness, I don't know, some sort of bugged map. But yeah, we have sort of two people either side, joined fairly far apart, but separated by water, bit like a Mediterranean style. But there's a path through it. There's a nice path through it. I don't know if you can dock this. Like, a lovely path through it. So it's going to be like choke point fighting, but also there's islands inside the lakes, and everything's all go here. Start with camels rather than scouts. Here's Namek highlighting that there's water. I think let's see what Tom's could see. Okay, maybe that's where that could be where the dock was for some weird random reason. But yeah, both players have realised that both teams have realised that there's water now, pretty much. So we'll see what they think about it. It's not bad. Hyper random's usually got mega random sort of vibe starts are usually quite bad for fish, really. And this has got some fish. It's 228 though, which is slightly less than normal fish. And that's shorefish, and 289 on shorefish. That's what I think about hyper random. Different resources, which you don't really notice. But pigs have only 90 food on them rather than 100. Trees have, I think they're standard, but stone, 685, ow, oh my god, that's insane. That's 9,000 gold here and 4,000 stone in just their nearby piles, and there's so much gold. All the game, but this is, some are different to others, to be honest. Are these always 685? Yeah, these are all 685 stones. That is fascinating. That's also 1282. Yep. So everyone starts with 4,000, 9,000 gold and 4,000 stone. That's absolutely insane. And there's various gold and stone. 731 stones at the side. Anything weird? Do the wolves have any food on? Wolves have 94 food. Bactrian camels don't have anything on. These wolves have 184 food. People are going to be bringing wolves in at some point. That'd be interesting to see. I want to see a live boar to see what that has, but I can't see anymore. Has everyone brought their boars in? Oh, that's a shame. I should have thought about it earlier. I'm trying to find anyone who's got a boar left, but no. But yeah, the wolves have food here, so always think about. Oh, here's a boar. Yes. 388. Is that less than usual? I do not know, but it could be less than usual. That is, I have no idea what a boar should have. I feel like all these values are vaguely inside. Like there must be some sort of range of values, because you wouldn't want like boar with one food. I feel like it's a bit too unlikely or unhelpful. So I feel like there's always going. I feel like this feels like there's going to be a sort of a range in it. So both teams are going for docks. There's, yeah, both the potatoes have gone for docks fairly early on. But Tom suffers quite a bit on idle time. Let's go around. Where's idle time? Yeah, quite a lot of idle time. Two villages behind. So even though there's eco units for the fishing ships, they're not producing the eco units at the TC, which is it's suffering a bit. Timing with their boar haven't been like force dropping. So yeah, not the best in that regard. But MT Explorer is pretty solid with their getting everything producing, dock production. TC production. I didn't even notice the Civs as well. It was double Britons, both RPS and Namek on Britain's poles. So poles is an interesting pick. I would have picked poles to Forest Pond personally. And then Mitchen's Marlins, and Marlins is a good pick for hyper random. Cheaper wood buildings, and then the Britons are solid for a 2v2 play because you can make the archers while your partner goes knights. So with 3 Castle Age times, neither of the filled-in players have gone for docks, which is interesting because if in doubt, you should really think about putting in water. I think that's such a key move to get in the water. Not only do you get like so much fish, it's not that much fish compared to normal water because it's a bit under because it's hyper random, but it's still extra economy units from the dock. Look at the eco now. It's 5 in favour of potatoes despite the idle time. But also you can establish a position, and because there's such a choke point, water control might be quite useful. With all this choke point here in the west, in the east, and in the centre, that water control could be vital to push in. So I will never prefer to sacrifice water control like this. And filled in has realised at the choke point. Potatoes haven't quite. They might think that water keeps all the way around. So that'll be interesting because currently Tom Snuffles is walling the left, thinking that it might just be one big massive Mediterranean vibe, but well, it's not quite. There's a little sneaky path here. But all players have gone for a fairly fast feudal time. Getting feudal, we have to be filled in, going for scouts on the Polish side, empty explore, going for militia. I wouldn't love militia here because look at their poor little boys go. They're going to take 6 years to travel. And by the time that, although Namek's howls, Namek's going to have quite a few scouts coming out. Because here we see a wolf. Oh, the scout didn't kill it in the end. That's nice. That's actually pretty cool there. But also the villager didn't realise that they were eating off it. So I think Nameks maybe have realised that you can eat the wolves. Don't know if anyone else has realised that yet either. It's sort of in place of deer hunt. Well, there is deer hunt, and also there's some sheep in the corner, which I think that's RPS's sheep, which have not been taken. I know there's also some sheep. There's just sheep in corners, just generally. That's way too far from empty explore for it to be theirs. But here we have the men at arms. The scout wandered past. just passing, didn't notice from the looks of it, because that scout is not turning back. And now M2 Sports is going to send some archer support behind, but does the team know? The team does not know about the centre choke point yet. And where are the scouts? Okay, the scouts haven't moved forward yet, and the archers from to be filled in are moving through the choke point. Good quick calls here by Namek. Good quick calls. The elo this is about, I would say, on the 1200 average side, roughly. MT Explorers should be around 1300. Tom Snuff was about 1100. I think these are about 1200, 1150 sort of vibes. So getting quick balls in is good play there. And here we have the archers coming north. There's something to be attacked here. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just a wolf carcass being annoying. But here we see the archers killing the dock, trying to kill the dock film. The fletching archers Britons. That's going to be a good snipe there. Really needs the scouts into support because a couple of archers, you end up in archer wars, and I mean you could start think about making skirms at this point. But yeah, the scouts should definitely be supporting any sort of push. And here we have archers from RPS fending off the man at arms. The man at arms play probably wasn't the wisest. There's a long distance to travel. They might get this fill though, so that's a bit. Oh no, they go straight past. Oh, they could have had that fill. So currently the Eco KD League is 3-0 for the filled in team, and now we have the scouts and the archers on the move. Yeah. Looking to attack Tom Snuffles, who is the lower elo of the two, so more prone to to fear. And there's definitely lots of things that could be hit. The gold can be hit, the wood can be hit. There's a tower there, but the berries, there isn't really much in berries. Tom Snuff has been good to put on farms and fish, so it's going to have quite a solid supported eco from this feudal army. Okay, there's a fishing ship. There's a fire ship here. Yeah, they've realised that there's now contiguous. It's non-contiguous. There is a crossing between. But these fire ships, now there's no water control. These fire ships are starting any sort of forward momentum from the opposing armies. Look, these archers just melting. Yeah, they're not going to make it. There's too many fire ships. So in that case, they're going to have to think about going to the right, which is unwalled currently. That's always this wall's going to be annoying until its food runs out. They're going to run out. They're going to have to go around the eastern side to preserve their lives. But here we have 4 archers from RPS just walking past. The scouts might get enough damage. Are there any armour? There's armour just come in for the scouts. And I think if you get surround, you would have been supported, but there is micro happening. The archers are microing, but it's gonna be good damage. Oh, they pulled back. I feel like if you got the surround, I think it's difficult to get the surround. Even I'm not able to get the surround, to be honest. So yeah, so there we have it. Sort of the feudal push from Namek and RPS has been a bit thwarted, but a couple of vill kills, a couple of extra vill kills, all the eco kills have really gone in favour of to be filled in. The man at arms are back though. The man at arms are back. That feels like it should be a hole, but I think I know there is a tree there. Like I thought that was just snow, but no, that's a hole. And we do see we see Tom Snuffles going up to Castle Age, so they've been very sort of they've been not making army at all. So definitely they were playing a bit greedy. I feel like maybe the attention should have gone to Tom Snuffles more, and try to find the goal of the back perhaps. But the greedy player will go off, and here we see it, the button's being clicked. Tom Snuffles is going for swords. Who would have thunk it? Against Poles though, I don't think swords are the right play, because Slackter Knights or Polish Knights probably mop up swords quite well. It's something you could do in 1v1s more than you can 2v2s, because now there's 2 people. 2 people can make melee units to kill you. I mean, the Britons won't, but I feel like the Poles are a fairly good answer to Malian longswords. Certainly. But we do see the infantry armour supplies. We get everything coming in. Double barrack production. Meanwhile, both Namek and RPS are equal time into Castle Age, almost the same time as, not equal time, but close enough time and close enough to empty explore. It'd be interesting to find out how people's stone counts are, and it's low. But Tom Snuffles has not got any stone, so he must have sold. Oh, yeah, built the tower. Sorry, that makes sense. So no one's going for castles. I feel like castle to control the middle is going to be quite important later on in the game. But here we see, the archer armies didn't face up. I mean, you can micro that against that fire ship, but there's coming more fire. If you kill a fire ship, there will be another one coming. And here we see Namek. Namek must have noticed that there's a big old purple army coming. Getting Bodkin, getting yeah, they've noticed. They flared before they realised to put the wolves back. But hopefully they should lose a bit of pain. But these have how much range do these have? These have 7 range. That's more than a TC now. These can just kill. These can just pop off the TC. They need RPS's support, and RPS is getting Bodkin, but not crossbow. Could not afford crossbow. So things are happening. Nice walls there. I mean, one got deleted, but it does stop them going. It does protect the wood line for a bit, and she's a nice distraction from the archers. Okay, there's a town centre being built. Will we see it be built though? That's the main question. So Bodkin and crossbow. Okay, get crossbow right at the right time. Neither side gets them in because they're Britons, but some knights will actually help. But looks like MT Explorer's micro is a bit more on point, but the home field advantage does go for RPS and Namek. So yeah, this is a good clear up. The knights didn't even get hit, and I think only like 5 crossbows died. But the swords are coming, but these swords are not going to beat knights. These are +1 knights. I feel like you should definitely put more attention, Namek, on these swords, because the town centre can't stop them. They are Malian knights with extra pierce armour. Using archers and town centre arrows is not going to do enough. You need knights. But one knight is enough. And the archer fire does help, obviously. And one knight is enough to scare these long swords to a very quick grave. And okay, now they turn. Sneaky. But yeah, you need more knights. Definitely run these archers away. It's quite. I mean, actually, no, they're doing really well. Maybe we'll see transition from. There's no more man-at-arms built, so I'd like to see camels here. Camels will do well against. I mean, camels or knights. Knights because they would survive against the archers, and then camels because they would actually do well against them. You need a bit of mobility here. Taking into pikemen, they're just a bit too slow. They're a defensive unit. It's difficult to get them across. But I think I mean, that's fine to deal with the knights. But we do see Empty Explorer going for quite a few archers. There's quite a few archers. This probably needs to be dealt with by some siege or a castle. That's why I'm sort of looking at stone, and we do see Namek on stone. Enough for a castle now, and definitely should build it here. Just plonk it here. Plonk the castle here. That'll stop things for a while, and then plonk your second castle like here, and that'll secure you for like. Yep, excellent castle addition. Wonderful. Couldn't place it better myself. It's even out of range of fireship vision. We just have to hope that these crossbows don't get there in time. Well, Namek has to hope. Because if they do, that's going to be an interesting engagement. 23 here versus 33. And there's only 7 vills here, so that's not going to go. That's not going to go well. And these are. I just want to see if they see. They don't see the castle build yet. They don't see it yet. No, I think RPS might have to sacrifice all their units, but they're forcing Empty Explorers microwing back, which is good. I think that's enough time for the castle to come up. So what if any chatter here? If Bruce is still here, who do you think's got the edge? I mean I've got the army edge for sure. But I don't, and under water control, so it's definitely in their favour. But the castle's going to force them back for a while. And if Schlachter comes in, I actually really like the Polish stream, especially as the only option is infantry from Tom. I feel like Tom needs to go think about their own cavalry for mobility. Because a mix of Schlachter and then Light Cav, because Light Cav do well. Polish Light Cav have bonus against archer units. I definitely feel like that's going to be an option. But we see some sneaky strats here. We see true transport ships in queue behind careening. So a landing feel like they come. I don't think you need to land. You could just walk around this outside, to be honest. So I think that might be. I'm going to land here. And if it does land here, that's a lot of crossbow. A lot of crossbow coming. Also was flared here as well. I'm not sure why, but. Resources. What are resources looking at? MT Explorer's looking close-ish to Imp. 2 TCs, both same as okay, so I haven't gone like the 3 TC Britain play. Now Namex on 4 TC, so the eco will catch up. That's all the fishing ship difference there. What's there? 13 fishing ships, 11 difference. Yeah, that's that purely difference in fishing ship, which is showing that fishing ships are important. Oh, that poor pig. But yeah, there's some transport ships. I'm not sure what they're planning because, I mean, the army's here. But yeah, MT Explorer's got enough food to go to Imp. Has also got the buildings going to Imp, but no castle yet. But on stone, so should get a castle soon. And Tom Stuff is also thinking about a castle. And I could buy their way to Imp, but I don't think they have the buildings now. They don't have a siege workshop, university, or monastery. So they could think about, yeah, they're thinking about it. Probably click their items. Oh no, I can't do it. Let's see a panic university. Where's the panic university? Come on, let's see it. Panic monastery. Where's the panic university? There it is. I knew it. I knew they were coming. I mean, they're already there. I just couldn't see it. So Imp's coming in. How about to be filled in, are they close to imp? Not really. They're not. RPS doesn't have enough on gold for solid archer production and solid imp production. Imp production. Passage towards imp, and lost a lot of archers here. So MT Explorers hasn't had the need to do so much in the way of extra production of archers. They've sort of held off, and they don't need to because they're going to imp. But I think they're thinking about trebs. So we have the council pitch laden and unladen again. I'm not sure what they're doing. I think they're trying to go to the other side of the map, and whereas they actually can't. Not without a dock here. Hello, MT. Yeah, I knew you could sail along this sort of green stuff, but this little path is land, fully land. Yeah, Boost likes Smiling's better than Poles, and I think I like Poles. I think if you can get Schlachter and if you can get like full like four castle spam, 4 stable spam. Sorry, it's difficult to come back. And I think I've beaten MT with that strat in a team game before. I can't remember. That was you when we played in the Yakao 3v3 league, and I was a Polish pocket, and I just went vroom. Here's some knights. Yeah, I mean, eventually you could always like build a dock here, like dock this side, and then have transport ships outside. I feel like that might be a sort of something like to do, like build docks both sides if you don't want to have Tom ferry you across. But honestly, I think you can just walk. I think you could just walk around here. To be honest, it's pretty unguarded, and even if you land there, that doesn't. But I like the initiative of transport ships. That's a fun thing. I mean, yeah, demos can definitely. This is subterranean. This is all subterranean. But obviously, yeah, demos can definitely win this. But yeah, they don't have any water control, and I feel like maybe thinking a dock here would be actually a really good idea to build a dock here. Would have been such a tasty idea, because you're protected by the castle, the fire ships does nothing, and also MT Explorer. Only Tom Snuffle has navy. MT Explorer does not have any navy. Don't need to, but that is one way of like docking here, and then just going haha. But imps come in for both of the potatoes. Do we see trebs? Not yet. We see conscription. Nice tech. Chemistry. So thinking bombards more than trebs. I don't mind. Trebs could be fine because are you going Gabetto? Maybe, but probably not. You don't really need the castle for anything else. I'm not going for Farimba, so I think that Trebs is probably fine than using bombards, especially when there's no siege workshop at the front or anywhere. Yeah, obviously Britons can't do bombards, so Trebs will come eventually, but Yeoman's coming, and then probably Warwolf, and it'd just be a lot of pain. Champions, two-handed swordsman, last infantry armor. So it's definitely going to be a sword arrow push. Meanwhile, both of the to be filled in are also going to end up to got bracer. So military-wise, it's looking fairly even. I mean, it's about 20 or so in Pallada's favour, but I definitely prefer the knights, which might be cavalier soon, to the two-handed swordsmen. To be honest, they're good against arch units, but they're not good against melee units. We see a little engagement between the crossbow of RPS and the arbalest of MT Explorer, which is always a thing the arbalest is going to win. Both got the same range, but the arbalest have the extra attack. What's it? 6+4, 5+3. Yep. Chemistry's in it. That's why it's +4. So the arbalest can actually outrange the castle. So definitely think about 11. Yep. Yeah, you need bracer. Get bracer, and then you equal range. But here we see some cannon. That's what chemistry was for. That explains things. I mean, I wouldn't stick it in front of Britain Arbs because you could just snipe those cannon galleons. So yep, it's getting there. It's a good tactic, but yeah, cannon galleons do get a bit out. I mean, not quite fully outranged, but Ideally, the RPS needs to go Yeoman, and Yeoman is probably the big problem. I thought the range was equal, but no, I forgot about Yeoman. But here we see a big engagement. The Knights are coming in. Cavaliers saw the Knights, saw the Cavalier, or the Knights to be saw the Arbalest, and actually have to retreat back. This is a lot of military now, and and I don't think the cannon galleons are enough. I mean, they're not enough. They can't. They're not that they can hit a moving knight, but they're good against the Arbs. But the Arbs should be able to do quite well against them. That's almost a one shot. That is a one shot. I think they should just push. They need to push because now the champions are coming. But Cavaliers come in. I think that's a good engagement. That is fairly even. Pushed back a bit. This is where some demos would be good from either side. Probably the side with the docks. Make some demos. Cavaliers in. They got all the armor they can get. They got all the attack they can get. I think Schlachter's in as well. Schlachter has to be in at this point. Chemistry's coming. Brace is coming for the castles, and now we see the champions versus Cavalier. And honestly, I think the Cavalier beat is very difficult to see because not much has happened. Let's do it like that. The HPs. There's more. There are more champions. Let's just over another. Yeah, the champions are actually winning. Okay, the champions absolutely wreck. I didn't think the champions would wreck the Cavalier so much, but they just do. Cavalier's got similar attacks and similar armors. That's the thing. Champion. Okay, it's 4 melee. Okay, twice as much armor. I didn't realize how much that got. Yeah, okay, I get that now. And now, but we do see the camel switch, which I think is the right thing to do. The answer for the potatoes, I think, could be to go to a winged hussar with Lachetic Legacy. That should be that could be a really good answer against champions, and it does really well against Arbalest. But currently, we're still fighting along this choke point, this narrow choke point in the centre, where maybe some hussar raids on the outside could be quite deadly for either player. That's why I like some winged hussars around this side, because that's an unwalled side, and the stables, and that could be really quite deadly to think about switching in, mixing in some hussar. Or for MT to go light cav, that's 2,000 food for light cav, 3,000 wood for stables. You can make 10 stables here and just stream light cav southwest. Into the base. Yeah, the Arb shooting the Cavalier down as well. Yeah, 1-1. I think Cavalier should be the champion, but yeah, I forgot about all the Arb that are just because yeah, Cavalier has double the HP of a champion. Let's try and find a champion there. 70 to 140. Yeah, Cavalier's double HP, so 1-1. It should be an even fight, pretty much. So yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, there's Arb pew-pewing it down. Hand cannon would be a really good option for the Civ that gets hand cannon. And that's unfortunately none of these. The Poles do not get hand cannon, I believe. So yeah, that does suck a bit for anyone facing its Malians. You sort of want something with hand cannons. Yeah, Malians get it, but I don't think Tom Suffolk's going to mix in hand cannons to kill their own units. That would be tricky. That would be a good attempt. But we see the Cavalier raid. I mean, I wouldn't have chose Cavalier. I would have chose Hussar to raid, to be honest. Cavalier will do a lot of damage, but now there's nothing stopping this push. And I feel like maybe Longbowman's the answer, because Longbowman can actually snipe castles. But Trebs are fine. I think Trebs would be better, to be honest. Just make Treb. Yeah, there we do. We see Tom making a Treb. That's going to force an engagement. But we need this Cavalier's going to do so much eco damage, but not like these eco are doing much, but it's going to be so useful. And we actually see a castle from RPS as well, so get that up, get Yeoman, that would be so useful. Onager, I don't like the Onager, it's just going to get sniped. You don't Onager Britons, you siege ran them. But any champions that come, Onager's good against the champions, not so good against the other things. But here we saw some amazing, we didn't quite see some, but there were some amazing quick ones, and the Cavalier just a bit, Cavalier just go through to the back of the eco, just go here, go to this wood line. So half the army's panicked, the Arbs are panicked, the pikes are panicked, and now there's going to be engagement at this side, and the champions, the Arb can't kill the champions. The Onagers can have a good go though. The Onagers having a great go. So bit of a base trade here, but these arbs are dying more than the others. I think maybe RPS is anti-microing their arbs, while MT Explorer is definitely firing at will. Cannon Gallion's taking some of the stables out. These champions are in the TC. That's not going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. They're going straight. This is what the Cavalier should have gone. It's gone straight through. We see some villains come for a castle. So it's looking interesting. Like the Cavalier are cleared here. Yeah, Cavalier pretty much all cleared, but there's just more streaming through. But unfortunately, Namex losing their home base. One TC down. The villains are going to go down. TC goes ching, ching, ching. 4 dings and it's dead. Well, probably 6. I missed the first couple of dings. That won't be built now. That won't be built, but can build it behind it, but probably won't work because it's arb everywhere. It's 4 villages. You need a bit more for the castle than that. See the Cavalier come and clean up the champions. This castle's still alive, though. This castle is still alive. Onagers are going to come and die because they're onagers. Pew pew. Yeah, one of the onagers died, but the Treb's gone a bit too greedy, and the Treb's just going to die, so... Yeah, trickle not thy Trebs, Tom Snuffles, when you're watching. Make 5. I mean, MT should be making Trebs, ideally, but they have no gold. Sell some wood, but to get some gold, make 5 Warwolf Trebs. Yep, we see Trebs. I don't know if you got Warwolf yet, MT. Let me know if you got Warwolf by now. We see some Siege Workshop Bombard Cannon Poles do get Bombard. That's not a bad unit in this scenario, because you just about have one more range than Arbalest. They have the same amount of range as Longbowman. That's why Longbowman can be a bit better, because you have the extra range. You have Warwolf, good. That's what I like to see. Make more Trebs. Make 4 Trebs. Knock this castle down. It's pretty much. It's going to be game over. Cavalier comes and tries to be a bit. So the Cavalier is doing really good. That's why I want to see some Farimba cavalry at this point. Tom Snuffles sort of teched into it with heavy camel, but did not decide to make any camels. And I think it's just such a good thing for mobility. Even Farimba Cavalier, delete some of your walls. Look how many vills here are just going to like die if you were to raid in that side. This forward pressure is dying. This castle, that's a bad castle. That's a bad castle. That is. Could you call it Doubt Castle? Because that was not even a good idea, let alone being denied. But the Cavalier come in and killing the Arbalest here, though, and the champions without Arbalest support. I don't think champions will fare too well, but there is castle support, which is good to see. Bracer Castle, a Cannon Gallion's going to get some shots out. Cavalier should trade okay. Champions have helped the Arbalest out there. That's their job. We're going to stick here and make it so that MT doesn't have to keep making Arbalest, because they don't have any gold to. In a sec, I'll check after this engagement. I'll check how the trade is going, because I don't think there is any. Okay, after the Arabs have regrouped, and the castle's still fine, so the champions win in the end. But it was a pretty fair fight. That Wolf Carver's going to annoy me again. Okay, does RPS have Yeoman? No, it does not have Yeoman yet. That is sad to see. Okay, finally, the potatoes are picking the open side to attack, which they should be. They could have done a long while ago. They could have picked the open side to attack from, and the Cavalier streaming through there. These Arbs are. I mean, yeah, that's the problem with Britain, like just general Arb stuff. They're just a bit slow to move. I don't think they're needed in this fight. I think you need something else. We see a wing. Okay, trade. Yep, there's trade. There's no trade, yep. So, to be Fielding's done well. They've made trades, 7, 13, 20 trade units overall between the two. That's going to help so much as the gold runs dry. And we can see that MT Explorer's got no gold. Tom Snuffles has a lot of gold there, a lot of gold, making Pike and Champion. That's a pretty cheap combination there. But Namek's got 12,000 food to make Winged Hussar from. I can't see if these have Lichitic Legacy, unfortunately. I could look in game if they have Lichitic Legacy, or I could look if they trample damage. But that should be the next stage, and then we see some black stable walls. house walls, stable walls, all manner of walls, and these. If they got Lycotic Legacy, it's going to be very quick. I think they do from the looks of some trample damage. It's very hard to tell, but that's enough. That's enough Winged Hussar to deal with that. And there's some Winged Hussar here as well, and Winged Hussar are good against archers and any hand cannons that they're good against cannon galleons. But I don't expect an engagement between Winged Hussar and cannon galleons. But if there was, they do well against them. The main thing that Tibby Fielders are missing is siege, to be honest. They don't have any good pushing siege. They don't have trebs, they don't have bombards. The bombards supported by their main push. So I can't see them winning this easily, but it will. That castle's going to get cannon galleon down in 10 minutes. I'm predicting that. Yeah, they don't have any pushing siege yet. They haven't okay, they're massing trebs. That Tibby Fielding RPS has heard me in the back. Yeah, RPS has heard me in the back and found trebs, and yeah, there's gold. There's so much gold in the back. How much gold in the back here? That's 2,700 gold. Steal it, MT. Steal it. I guess you couldn't see it to the end. No, you couldn't. Oh, you couldn't see it. Yeah, always scout the corners. You never know what they're playing. Look at Tubby Fields in scouting. Effectively, I mean, they're book markets in the corners. See, that's why trades are good. If you built the trade, you would have realised that there was gold there. So here's a treb fight. Britain treb. Is this Warwolf treb? No idea. I haven't really paid attention to so many of the upgrades that have been coming in. We've seen engagement here at the front between Britain and Light Cav. That's why I also like MT. I would like you to mix some other units, mix some raiding units in as well. That would be good. Because Arbalest are very immobile. But this push is slowly pushing, getting a castle to defend these arms from. It's not a bad idea. These Winged Hussar got a bit lost, but I'm sure they're in the right place. A couple of Scorpions, they're not going to do well against the arbs, but I'm not going to do great against the champions as well. I would definitely prefer bombards from those to deal with the arbs. Let's see, where's the bombard? 13 range bombard siege engineers is in for both. I think both of these players. Yeah, I think everyone's got siege engineers at this point. Yeah. So yeah, 13 range bombards. That's enough to be annoying to arbs. It's not enough to beat them, but it's enough to be annoying. And here we see the Treb War has been won by RPS, and the push is happening as well in the centre. So RPS is. Tibby Fielding's doing two things well there, and Tom Snuff was taking a town centre down here, and just pinged over here, some gold here, which is now giving gold to Tom Snuffles. Tom Snuffles is taking the gold here. You got there too slow, MT. You got there too slow. Arbs are raiding. I mean, they're not raiding units, unfortunately. They're pushing units. I know you want them to. I know you want to believe that they're raiding units, but sadly they are only. They are pushing. Okay, the Trebs actually managed to take down this. Here, but these trebs should kill those trebs. These are probably Warwolf trebs. Okay, they're not Warwolf trebs. They missed. That's all of that. But RPS lost 2 TCs, only down to 1 TC now. 94. How are the vills looking? In favour. I don't know. MTD. You didn't bounce back. You didn't bounce back after you got raided. But RPS is quite very short and free because all their farming eco just got decimated. So. Diversity of farming eco, build a mill there for those berries and then farm those afterwards. Those berries have 215 food, which is more than usual because of hyper random. Oh, you got trade now. Okay, yeah, you've got trade. But you're not trained at the corner. You didn't trade at the corner where the gold was. That's fine. There you go. You got trade, so it's going to be. That's good to see. Good to see. But more trains popping in for Namek. Winged Hussar, stopping your push, they're stopping your raids, MT, they're stopping your raids, stone cold dead. But yeah, it needs more. Production, yeah, there's 51 Winged Hussar somewhere on the map, and they're mostly killing champions. Okay, Tom Sum's gone 15 trade cards, so yeah, trade is in, it's buckling, guys, it's going to be a long game. Yeah, 80, yeah, true, yeah, 80 is good when you... But you sort of, there was a long while between for losing your vills and making trade though. There was a long gap, and you're not pop capped, you're only 175. So there was a long time between military and trade. Hello RPS. This was, I mean, MT said cast one of my two games, and because I have you in the 1v1 7Ps league sometime soon, I thought it'd be good practice to see how you play as well. Every bit of knowledge helps. So RPS hasn't got back the TCs yet. Can afford to, has got the wood and stone, so could afford to make some TCs just to help their farming eco. But obviously they just died. They're just about to champions anyway, so there's no massive need. But definitely think about walling some stuff up. I think it should be the main point to stop the champion raids, is to wall up. So yeah, wall this, gate this if you need to. Gate's always very useful. Stone wall it. There's a whole stone part here hasn't been taken. MT's actually scouted this and not actually they've actually landed on the island and have a transport ship, but haven't thought about landing. And also these have been in the transport ship, I think, about 20 minutes. So they have been in here for a long while, haven't they? These ones. They went to explore the island and they haven't really done back from that. So that's 10 raiding units that MT's been missing. I'm going to call them raiding units forever now because you said that they are raiding units. But there was 80 arbs a while ago. That was only 55. So yeah, that's got completely cleaned by by all these bombard cannons. Look how many bombs. That's a lovely amount. See it, Tom Snuff, which are watching. Trickle not thy trebs and trickle not thy bombard cannons. But here we see the cannon galleon trying to force down this castle. This castle's been here a long while. It hasn't gone down. The cannon galleon just managed to run away in time. Just realizes. But this is a lot of units. This is 55 arbalest and 37 champions. But here's the castle on the east going down. Castle on the east goes down, but the bombards are under threat. Scorpion's are going to try and do some damage, but they're not going to do well against the champions. Look, that went straight through and no champion died. One was on like 2 HP, it didn't kill it. Your APM was not the highest. I mean, my APM is never the highest. I haven't said the APM has been terrible. It's more like remembering skills, remembering that you had army there, and it's moved now. See, you're stream sniping so much, MT. You've now moved it. The cannon galleon goes down. I mean, those villas are dead. There's no way about it. Score-wise, it's just so close, and now we have these light cav tripping themselves up trying to get here. They're not going to get through this fortified wall anytime soon, sadly. But it is forcing Tom Snuffles to spend some of his stone on some castles. Stone is so crazy this map. If you haven't really been paying attention, well, you've missed the start. Stone, there's like so much stone and it's so much on the stone because of hyper random. We have a break in though. There isn't enough, I think there's enough units here to raid down. I think you definitely build up like 40 or so winged hussars. In the centre we have a big push now by the potatoes, champion pikes, arbalest. Isn't enough winged hussar. Where's the winged hussar mass? Here is some. It's very hard to. Yeah, there's 20 here. If I stop clicking on archer range, I bet it. 23 winged hussar there. There's some at home. There's some around here. You definitely have to respect that push. Those bombard cannons are very weak at the moment. So they could be easily sniped. I mean, I feel like your champions could just take this castle at this point. That's a very good castle. Oh, Lakitic Legacy wasn't in. There wasn't Lakitic. Now Lakitic Legacy is in with Obuch, which are a good answer. That's a good answer. Yes, I love to see Obuch, but they've been cancelled. Make Obuch. Maybe conscription was more important. But Obuch is such a good unit against Marlin champions because you just shred their pierce armor off. Who cares about 7 pierce armor when you only have 1 after 7 Obuch hits? Okay, yeah. These bomber cannons are drifting way too far. They need to start park here. This winged hussar probably need to come back and just keep the cavalier there. That's enough to deal with things. So these what's it called? These arbalest are running into very dangerous territory here. You're surrounded by Lakitic Legacy hussars with 30 arbalest. They are going to melt. Polish winged. I don't think a single. What was it? 4 winged hussar died there. Now we see in the back there's a cavalier trying to fend off like 5 champions. And the trains, some winged hussars come here. Yes, Obuch. Elite Obuch with almost all the upgrades. That's gonna be poggers. I love it. I love to see Obuch on the field. Now the champions run away from all the winged hussar. The bombard cannons kill all the winged hussar. Okay, now they've recognised their target. Over here, the bombard cannons got sniped, I think, or they're the ones that ran home. It's hard to tell, but from the looks, I feel like they got sniped here because they weren't particularly well protected. The market survived. The champions over here, or the winged hussars are back in the base, but there's no threat in the middle. In the west, all the castles got cleared, or the light cav, a guy ran away or died at this point. It's hard to tell. But they're sort of been stalled with some trebs out here ready to defend. No idea on the relic situation. How are the relics doing? Who's got relics? One relic each. MT and Namek have a relic. Okay, now Namek's had to protect his villagers, and just about, I mean, survives fine. These bombards are not doing well. They got very sniped, but combined of Arbalest and Skirms as well. That's good to see some Skirms mixed in. It's going to do quite well against the Arbalest. And now Tom Snuffers is finally doing what I said, taking this castle down. So this castle is like the first that came up in the game. Now it's finally going down after about 700 flybys. But yeah, if it was Winged Hussar, it'd be a very different story. These Cavaliers may not have killed a Winged Hussar, but it's just Britain Light Cav, and these champions are absolutely wrecking him. And the Skirms are going to do nothing. RPS needs to call Namek in to help with Obok or Winged Hussar or something at this point, because you need that trample damage, you need that attack, pure attack that Winged Hussar gives you. Obok are such a clash unit, so yeah. Military-wise, fairly even. Eco's fairly even. It hasn't changed much. It's 1 hour 18. I know this is a 7 megabyte file, so it's now going to be quite a long game. Champions take down the Britain Castle over here as well. Winged Hussar and Obok are on the field. Obok, there's no arms to kill the Obok though, so they're just going to have a perfectly free time chipping away at all this. And every Obok hit makes a weak champion for the Arbs to kill, and the Skirms could have a pop at it as well. In the east, Namek's pushing with Winged Hussar. In the west, nothing's happening. I'm glad there's only 3 choke points, because otherwise I'll be struggling to cast all this. Hi, Mayor Tarsislu. I hope it's not too long, because we have more games we have your game, I believe. If you're partnered with Zaki, we'll be testing your game afterwards. But I sort of want to do this one first, because I know Zaki's away busy until 10, so I thought it'd be nice if he would be able to see his own being cast. So I decided to do this one first. We're on 1 minute 20, sorry, 1 hour 20. The castles got cleared, but the army got cleared as well. There's Arbalest in the east here with 2 trebs supporting. No push in the east. There's more champions in the centre, but there's Obok and Scorpions and Winged Hussar now, so that should be fairly manageable if enough Winged Hussar and Obok come. Obok, okay, I don't like Obok here. There's no point putting the Obok against the Britain player. That is not the place for Obok to be, unfortunately. They're used to kill infantry. They are not used to kill Arbalest. You need to have the Winged Hussar here and the Obok over here. Still would like this to be stonewalled. I think I just showed a bit of priority a while ago. Obok removes all armour, both melee and pierce, because me and who was it? Eleanor we saw like 0-0 Haubs because I was using Obok to shred them in one of our games. Like, why did they have 0-0 Haubs? They were fully upgraded, but no, it shreds a unit of both armor. So here we see some Obok. We can just see. Let's look at this champion. 1-4, 1-3, 1-2, dead. So there we have it. Obok do indeed shred both the armor types. So here we see Cavalier die. Yeah, you definitely need more. Winged Hussar are really good against Arbs. Winged Hussar are fast. They're Polish, so they have 1+ bonus damage against the archer line, against foot archers. I think against Skirms as well. And they have trample damage against bowls of Arb. So that's definitely the unit to use. But there's enough cavalry. That's enough to kill them all. Obok should be used. I think Cavalier, you don't need Cavalier. You just mix Winged Hussar or Obok at this point. For RPS, Arbalest Light Cav, such a good thing. For Tom Snuffles, I do like the commit of the champions, but I think MT definitely needs. I think you need more than Arbalest at this point. You need something for Bombard. You need something for Winged Hussar, to be honest. You need to borrow MT. You need to borrow Tom Snuffles' pikeman at this point. Yeah. Borrow his pikeman, ask him to build some barracks here, borrow some pikemen, and then you have a great day. Because you just lost 20 arbs here. So we have another engagement in the centre. In the west, all the time stuff is rewalling, not really fighting here. You could easily just delete and send a bunch of light cav there. That'll do such a good job. Onager's gonna if it gets a good shot off, it's gonna do well. Does it get a shot off? Get a shot off. Please get a shot off. Stop microwaving before it can shoot. Shoot! Oh, got the arbs. Nice. And died. So winged hussar attacking under the castle. I don't mind, they're trash, but I feel like they should have been here. This is where winged hussar are needed now. The Obook are engaged the Arbalest, the Skirms and Arbs are engaged against the champions. It's not a good fight here. What are they thinking? Archery range. What's this for? Skirms? That could work. I think winged hussar is your answer. You don't need to take out of food units, of stable units. Like to see, yeah, more but production, more. I don't want to see the Cavalier. I don't think the Cavalier is solving much. Unfortunately, they're not good against anything. They're no better against Arbalest than Winged Hussar. Winged Hussar have 13 attack, Cavalier have 16 attack. Winged Hussar have 14 attack technically because they have the bonus 1 damage, and then they have the trample damage from Liquid Legacy. I think it's the only thing they differ on is the HP. What's the HP for Winged Hussar? Where is the Winged Hussar? 100 HP, 140. That's the only difference, but they don't cost any gold, so I think that's worth it, and you can focus on your gold units. RPS has run out of gold, RPS has run out of Arbalest. The military is turning. That fight here in the centre with no winged hussar to support, that hurt. RPS has now been defended quite well by Namek, and hopefully, getting some units to support. Probably more trade at this point. Yeah, your RPS is last in trade, but Namek's first in trade. So, no, sorry, MT's first in trade. Namek's also in trade. Yeah. I think it should balance out where you should get enough gold production to make some more blessed. Okay, Winged Hussar scared off. MT's ready for another push. Tom Snuffles realised he had 5,000 stone and now built castles everywhere. I definitely like to see some of those forward. And finally attacking through the west. Love to see it. Is this crossable? Oh my god, it's crossable. All this time it's been crossable, this bit. They've been fighting over this tiny little stretch of palisade wall here. And all the while they've realised that's been crossable. And there's a perfect time to hit as well. RPS has no units, no military of any that can really stop this, and it's the wrong side from Namek. Namek's the one that deals with the champions. So yeah, perfect opportunity, perfect chance to find the weak underbelly, which is the left hand side of RPS. Just because no one's attacked there yet, it's always good to be innovative. But then we see Cavalier diving through the centre, and maybe the champion should have been here as well. Does Tom make helps? Not yet. Those Cavalier can go all the way through these 600 castles, but definitely run through, dive here, kill the trade, kill the eco, stop, and then that's where they go. Don't engage with the castle, just run straight through at this point. You've done your job. You've cleared the pushing force that could push in the centre. Just walk past them. In the west, castle goes down. Oh, there's Obook around. Enough Obook, there's enough light cav. After that, that could be enough to clear. I would never say should when it comes to Malians here. That definitely should be enough to clear this little force here. Because the Obook wears the champions down enough so that light cav should kill them. But then there's not enough Obook. They're killing the ones they're wearing down. The light cav can't get to them because of pathing. There's just more champions in their wake, and the champions win the fight. That's crazy. There's more Obook coming, but there's not enough in time. And in the east, there's Arbs and Trebs. There's a Treb hold in the north. There's more champions. North in the centre, there's more champions. The Cavalier all died under here, or they ran away or something. It's looking like it's potatoes map. 50 mil ahead, equal on economy. Namek is streaming units in one by one, trickling in the winged hussar. It's not enough. Build it in the back. Treb is down though, so now's the time to build in the back and then strike. MT is microing this group of archers in the east, but that's fine because they have nothing else to micro elsewhere. The champions are in the trade, killing markets one by one. Obok are coming. More champions are coming through the west. There's champions in the north, but they're going to deny this TC. RPS looks a bit dead, unfortunately. It's difficult to come back from this. Can Namek hold enough to stabilize this west, stabilize, build enough stone walls to stay? The stone walls are so good. If you get fortified wall, I don't know if Britons do. If you get fortified wall masonry architecture, it's very difficult to push. You need siege to push, and it's quite easy to get rid of siege. Hello, Zaki. We're doing game one, unfortunately. We're still on game one of set one. Still got a while before your set, but I'll be committed to cast that. This is a long game, but it's just in the Pirate Potatoes, probably slightly smurfier than the other team. And not speaking of no one, MT Explore. Perhaps a bit more, one of the favourites probably for this group, I imagine, are slowly pushing against to be filled in RPS and Namek. In this 1.5 hour game. So there's more champions running in through the north. In the east, the Winged Hussar stabilised, but the Winged Hussar are just sitting here doing nothing. They need to kill the champions because these 6 skirms unfortunately cannot. But also Winged Hussars unit points coming back over here, and Obok are trying to chase the champion in the west. There's some sneak barracks which need to be. They're going to be Obok down. But there's champions now in Namek's own economy. And these Winged Hussars in the east have to come back home. They can't push at this point. You have to respect these champions. They will kill every single TC you have, every single castle you have. So, there's been where's the flares? The flares. Champions in the train. Champions in the TCs. Champions everywhere. Arbalest, no, MT's got his Arbalest, but we've walked all the way around half the map, all the way back around through the choke point, back into the centre to snipe some skirms. These are very weak arbs, so half HP on average, so enough skirms could actually really pop these off. You're playing Plod and Gypsy on Sunday. I think you can take them. I think that would be a really good game to watch. Either cast or watch someone else's casting, because that's a close scale. I know you and Plotter played in the show game against me and Bruce and you beat us, and I think I was unfortunate not to play Gypsy. I think we're in the previous Super Draft. I was in the same group but never got a chance to play against him, I think. So the arbs are going down by Winged Hussar. Winged Hussar are just a unit of the game, to be honest. Tommy wants me to. I know Tom want me to say champions, but Winged Hussar really are the MVPs of this game. If we're out with them and we're out their Lickitic Legacy, I think this game will be over much quicker. They kill the champion balls, they kill the R balls. It's just that you can't be everywhere at once, unfortunately. Like poles are doing well again. That's what I think. Yeah, definitely. That's why I think you definitely need a mixing pikes. One of you mixing pikes. It's 124 champions include mixing pikes. They're the units that's gonna. Either of you, mixing Halb. Britain Halbs, if they get Halb, they'll probably get Halb. They didn't get much of a tech tree. So yeah, Britain Halb. That's what you do. Just go through them. And what can Namek do against Britain Halbs? They have to move the Obok from killing the champions to killing Halb, and there's definitely not enough Obok in the world to do that. Castle gets denied though. Love to see some wins because it's not going well to be filled in, but denying the castle in the west, pushing the west. But with no siege, that's the main problem. There's no siege. But we see some docks. And transport ships. We see one bombard cannon and 20 hussars coming to transport in. Will they survive? Because there's a castle right here, and they do know about that. They don't know about that castle. Oh my god, they go run into a castle. We're watching this. Sorry about all the action that's happening. We're watching this. Oh no, they've dodged the castle. They didn't even know that was there. But in the centre, we see buildings get marked up. Winged Hussar corpses on the floor. We see about 50 skirms against 40 Arbalest. In the east, these Arbs are killing docks and bombard cannons. The Winged Hussar are still trickling in. In the north now, we have a north to these theatres. We have Winged Hussar in the Britain economy. In the west, we have 40 Obuck sitting still, which need to be involved in something or other. You see, 40 Leica there. It's all in groups of 40. Forget groups of 60, it's just now groups of 40. When you get too bored to wait for 20 more units. But now we see Winged Hussar in the eco, which is an excellent. They can kill Vils like it's no business. They need to go into the back of the eco. They need to kill the trained, but I can understand why they're a bit sort of focused on not. We see some slinging going on, perfectly legit. That everyone's an imp. We see the champions going back all the way back to the trade. That's where the Hussar needs to be. But the trade is it's fair. The trade routes are fairly well guarded in the middle. It's in the. And I think Tom perfected his trade, but empty markets are very weak. But I don't think Namek can sort of, what's the word, exploit that. Just not enough Winged Hussar, I think. They've got engaged in fighting military rather than fighting eco. But the castle comes down. That's guarding Namek's markets, and now they're moving on to the next target. The military lead is in favour to be filled in, but the eco lead is slipping. 77 Vils, 50 Vils for Namek, 77 for RPS. Trade hasn't to be filled in. Namek's lost more trade than they started with from the Arbalest in the middle. I think it might be GG soon. I know it's like saying it can be going a while, but look, there's Arbalest posting the trade, and that's enough. And these skirms are engaging the wrong. They're not engaging the Arbs. These are the deadly. What 15 traders from both sides almost, I think, has been lost in the last 10 minutes alone, and that means RPS is no god. Namek's going to be running out of, Namek's not going to be running out of god, but RPS are going to be running out of god, and Namek can't sling and support their own eco. But I think RPS is going full trash at this point, full pure scum, and there's champions for RPS as well, and Britain champions actually trade against Malian champions because of the melee equipment, and it mixes an Obuck in and you're winning that fight. And that makes being with stone. If anyone has everyone has lots of stone, to be honest. There's so much stone on the map, and the Polish stone bonus is coming up really useful. In the centre, there's a push with these transport ships. They actually some landed, and you're taking out the outpost. I think take out the castle first. I mean, it's a bit like a Hydra castle at this point. When one goes down, there's 8 more in its place, but yeah, okay, lost the opportunity, going to have to transport back out and hide. Because that's too many champions. But these Obuck are still in the corner, they're still sitting there. It's quite a big red blob as well. It's okay if you miss some red blobs here, like some Winged Hussars or whatever in this corner here, because there's so much trade card, you don't know where your units are, like these things there. But missing this big red blob in the corner, I feel like that's a bit too glaring. We have RBS here getting engaged by Winged Hussars, and MT's microing this. Does MT micro anything else? No, it doesn't need to. So getting quite successful with what you need to micro here. Siege Rams for whom? Because there's Winged Hussar and there's Champion on the field. I don't think Siege Rams would survive, but I always forget the power of Siege Rams. I think Britons have Siege Rams, right, though? I thought they got Siege Rams, or they do only get capped. Because always like mining to get hand cannon, nothing else gets hand cannon. Hand cannon are the best thing against these champions. Actually, Obuck are pretty good against these things. There's another Obuck ball. Yeah, Poles don't get good siege, to be honest. They get bombed by cannon as their thing for not getting heavy scorp or capped or siege ram. That's not part. I think they get onager, I think. Oh, the Obuck has been engaged accidentally, and that seems to be a good fight. The Obuck are winning. They're clearly winning. This is a good accidental clear up of a whole mass of raiding champions. Actually, I don't mind the Obuck just being parked here at this point. Oh, they were winning and they ran away. They were winning and they ran away. The HP's equal. It's pretty much a dead even fight. That's an X. Oh, keep the Obuck here. Stop any raids. That's almost a perfectly even fight. It's amazing. That's absolutely. I haven't seen an even fight at all. Like that's the most even fight I've ever seen in this game with so many units, which are different. I don't know how many. There was 40 Obuck and like I don't know 40 champion or something like that. We see some, but we do see some champions did make it, but that's not enough. That's going to be killed by it. One Obuk, one Obuk, one Winged Hussar, one Light Cav, one Cavalier, and a couple of champions, and whole mix of units here to destroy. Everything's a bit quiet on all the fronts. MT is thinking about pushing the east, but that's what classic MT. Oh, that's all MT. All MT is thinking about pushing the east, raiding the center. That's the plan. Some demos would be nice. Keep a demo in this. Demo in the ship. The CAF thought the game was over. I said the game was over because of the push through the middle, but no, it's not over. We see Keep come in. How many towers does MT have? None, but maybe Tower Rush, Keep Rush. Well, we see. Oh, these are safe trebs here. The docks are going down. These trebs are. This is something that has to be respected. I'm gonna have a quick drink, so bear with for about 10 seconds. Okay, we're back. Oh, there's more. There's another push in the west. Tom has not trickled near trebs this time. No siree. MT supporting this side. Then the push is going to come from the corners, and now there's nothing in the centre to push from. All of the defender units are in the centre, and I don't think that I just hear a flare, and there's the flare. You hear sounds a bit quickly, a bit earlier, and there's the flare. Oh my god, there's a hell of a lot of units here. Docks are going down. There's Emu Trebs putting in some work. So they tried the centre and almost wiped them out, almost wiped out to be filled in from the centre. Will they be able to do it from the corners now? There's 2 Britain Trebs. There's 5 Marlin Trebs. If that's the one way round, I feel like you need 5 Britain Trebs and 2 Marlin Trebs as more of an ideal comp. But we have 40 Arbalest, 40 champions. Not enough Light Cav, not enough Hussar, but Namek's good. Namek's been good to predict. Oh, they're gonna come to this corner ideally, and finding the Trebs is a good shout. That's a good spot there, and the Kitic Legacy is really working in to help damage, and that's 1 Treb down. And all this attacking some Britain stables, and there's enough Britain. I mean, stables can be rebuilt. RPS is 4,000 wood. Namek uses stable. That's a difficult. Let's look at the east. How's that going? This is a very slow methodical pick. RPS is not RPS. MT is definitely focusing about this push in the west. So it's going to be very slow methodical, but Namek doesn't have enough to kill it. We have some Onager. We have some Winged Hussar. That's pretty much all you need. Just have to be good with the micro. And if MT's focusing on this micro, and he's not, that's just firing us at will. And Will is not amused. I mean, I don't know why either player didn't go cool longbows, because they do outrange castles, which does help. The extra 1 range really does help. And MT can afford to go longbows. And you have the castles. Actually, you don't have the castles. You only have 2. But you can afford the castles to go full longbow production. Make longbow as much as from many castles as you have ranges for this much stone. So I'd like to see. I would like to see longbows, because they have the extra range, which is so clutch against siege as well. We have a Britain castle in the centre, but that's getting denied by champions. It's not looking good to be filled in. But they're holding the east, but not in the west. But they're not getting pushed in the west, so it's not really holding. But the Trebs have gone down. The Trebs were way out of position. That's where I would like to see some cavalry units by Tom here, because they could help defend against the Trebs a bit better than champions could. Or defend the Trebs even. The castle's denied, but it's not destroyed, and these Obuk can come in. And I heard a flare. Where's the flare? It's in the south here. Oh yeah, you have 30 champions do something with that. I remember those type of flares. Oh, Tom ate all the market. Oh, I didn't notice that. Oh, like that's very empty. Oh, the Trebs are dead, but the market's there as well, and there's no trade. This is the trading market, and that's next to everything. Good spot, MT. Backseat casters for the win. Now we see champions in the middle. Oh dear God, and there's still a 53 in queue. So RPS is dying. RPS is dying. It's not looking good at all. because these champions do not have the pierce armor that the Marlin champions do. Because even though they trade fairly efficiently, fairly evenly against Marlin champions, they do not trade efficiently against the Britain Arbalest. And you see Obuk and now against the champions in the centre, but these Arbalests are going. I know they're being microed. That means these Arbalests are dying. That's the problem with using archer units in late game. Yeah, just only archer units in late game. You have to. If you have more than one ball, you can't micro both, unfortunately. And yeah, and MT's lost, but they're making 60 more, so it's not too much of an issue at the moment. They're basically trash Arbalest with how much gold MT's got. 56 vills, yeah, I think that's getting fair. I guess you killed a few when you realised you have so much wood and gold, but you could build some keeps because you research keep. I feel like building some castles forward maybe. Castling here would be such a good plan by either of by you MT or Tom. Probably MT because MT has all the stone. But castling here, I think it'll force an action. It'll force bombard cannons to go over here. That's mainly what it does. I guess you just make some more vills if they die. Because you have enough wood. You have enough wood. You don't need any more wood because you don't need any more farmers really for the end of this game. To be honest, for a while. Market's being rebuilt in the west. But RPS has very few villagers, 31. So it has to and only from one TC, so it's really chugging out. And that TC is not particularly healthy. Making another one though. I had to buy that, but I don't think I had any stone. Look at the market manipulation, selling all the wood for gold. If I only had a teammate with 4,000 gold, you could ask for a gold from, but no. And the Gibetto are coming in for the champions. There's quite a few champions, yeah. I mean that's, and for the Obuk as well. Gibetto shred the Obuk. In the east, there's no push in the east though, but it's a push in the centre from all the Arbs and all the champions. There's no push in the west, so that it's difficult. It's difficult for potatoes to really push on all three fronts at once. Not just push, but raid in the west with Farimba Lightcav, push in the centre, and raid in the east with Britain Lightcav. And I think that's the plan. That's the plot. Send as much trash as possible. Keep making that trash. I mean, they're very pop count, but you could definitely think about just making that trash. Because now all the rally points come in the centre to be filled in. Hello, Emu. There's no Teuton, so how can it be your kind of game, really? Think about it. So the Arbalest are parked here, but yeah, the Arbalest are moving in the east. I was seeing some in the west. So Gibetto already in the west. Okay, Gibetto's fine instead of Farimba Lightcav. I appreciate that you can't bother to make. You can't bother to make armor. Oh, that's not the one person. You got armor. You got fully cav armor. You got just blue. Yeah, you got fully caved armor. You don't really need to. Yeah, you can make light cav. It's perfectly alright. You checked in the heavy camel about an hour ago and I hadn't seen a single camel come out. We see some docks from RPS. It's not looking like a wood game though, thankfully. That's not. It's not got to that stage. Okay, these Arbalests stop pushing the east. I think they just reformed. These Arbalests are going down to the west to kill these Obuk. Castles coming down in the centre. Champions streaming in the centre. Resources wise, it's not looking good now to be filled in. Namek's having to sling wood. And they don't have many wood choppers, so they have 1,000 wood, and these are all their wood choppers, all these. And, sorry, there's a Britain wood chopper. Oh, there's the lumber camp. I'm like, where's the Britain lumber camp? I couldn't see one. Yeah, this CC hasn't been built. That'd be such useful for rebounding some eco, but has sort of gotten them by as all this pressure, this game ramps up. The champion in the centre have been cleared up. More champion coming through here. But as I said, like, the rally points are all in this area of the map. There's no all this. There's 36 cavalry, and the match is just being pinged right now. Yeah, there's all the rally points are coming to roughly around about here, which means this cavalry is mobile, so it doesn't mind. It can be anywhere around here. It can come into action. Come into action. You can do it. You can do it, cavalry. I believe in you. You can move. Apparently not. Okay, now we see Garrett in the west. I like to see. And now I want to see MT pushing east. Triple push, triple threat. That's what you need to win this game. Everything else has been 1 or 2 pushes. I mean, also a castle here would be lovely. There's no threat. There's no reason not to build a castle here. And barracks. You can just move all your forward production here at this point. Because at the moment you haven't actually gained any territory. You just sort of deleted territory from your opponent. We have to come in for the trade. These Greta would do work. Let's keep the camera on them for a sec because the centre's been cleared. Score-wise, look at the RPS is really struggling. I mean, Nemec's putting them through. I mean, RPS has been really good. I don't know why RPS score is so low. I guess it's just not many military anymore, not many units anymore. RPS has been putting solid work, like holding. I mean, I would like to see some stonewalls. That's sort of the main mistake there by RPS is not. If you asked the watching, like to make stone walls, you had like 3,000 stone. You could just keep making stone walls. Like really, fortified wall. Like stop anything coming. They forced them to go by water. Stop any of these raids. Forced them to tread them down as well, which is quite obvious to see in advance. That's just the main sort of. That's the main reason why you lost all of this in the west, because they weren't stone fortified wall. Because Tom hasn't been too on board in making siege, because it gets sniped too. It's something you can easily snipe when there's champions, only champions. Now there's Gabetta, it's very difficult to snipe trade, but look at all the trade dying. There's Gabetta can just park here for life, and the Wingdasar will die before they get there, pretty much. If the Gabetta's hit. I don't know if Ballistics is in, but yeah, they're gonna miss. Yeah, look, they can just park. They can just go on no attack stance, and they can just park and just kill everything that comes here. Now in the east, it's being pushed. The champions and the pushing. Now we see a triple threat. We see units coming from the north. We see units coming from the east. We see units in the west. Okay, Tom's even finding a place to hide. That's even better. I want to see some more. I like to see some. There's 71 Gabettas. More Gabetta than there are champions. There's more MQ. Just keep them. Make the rally point here at this point. That's what they need to do. I mean, the champions have got the good rally point idea. But now we see the centre being cleared up. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. I haven't been able to find a single like solid push. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Team game's always a bit. Yeah, it's your first team game. I mean, you've been in such well. Yes, I'm never really. I always forget to stone on 1v1s. To be honest, it's always something. Well, just war in general. It's not something I generally do. I'm trying to think about doing more. Honestly, yeah, MT could have built like 3 wonders by now. You have the resources to, and there's no way of breaking it. But yeah, you're doing. I mean, that's the only thing like making this. Like, you've been really good with your comp, like knowing your resource limits, like making sure you've been focusing on skirm, light cap. I mean, it's pretty good. It's been pretty well hard. I mean, you've been carried a bit, but you also lost all your eco. But now we see the R pushing the east. There's nothing in the centre, though. But there's a few champions in the centre, but then that's not too much of a threat. But it might be enough. There's no trade now. There's 5 trade units. Both Namek and RPS are out to gone. Namek was the gold leader for a long while. Yeah, these are Winged Hussar having to stream into death. This TC is going down. Eventually, I wouldn't focus on the TC. Like, you aren't making villages anymore at this point. Just focus on the production. Focus on the castles. Focus on it, but actually focus on the stables. I think is probably the primary reason. Like, these Greta still haven't died, but there's more here, just sitting there doing nothing. There's 51 Quebec. Okay, that's all the 51 Quebec. I thought there were even more. Yeah, Namek's done really well to carry you through this game. I don't love the Cavalier options. I feel like Winged Hussar is the option, and you could focus more gold on siege. We see Polish siege ram, so Poles do get siege ram. We been new. Whoever said Poles don't get siege ram. I thought I was also part of that. I don't think Poles get siege ram. It's only the wrong player to siege ram. Siege ram Britons, because they can't do anything about that. MT Explorer is allergic to things which aren't archers. Yeah, MT. Yeah, you got your waypoint sorted, MT. Yeah, you're sniping the Winged Hussars. They leave the stables pretty much. Yeah, the siege ram's push is a brilliant idea. Just do it here. So you don't do it in front of... Okay, GG's cool. So you don't do it in front of the champions. Okay, that should be best of 3. I'll change that in the... I'll change that now while we wrap up that excellent game. Excellently long game. Yep, Siege Ram should go over this side of the field because Arbalest can't kill them. But yeah, excellent game. As a game of choke points, we identified that from the start. We saw that centre choke point. Both sides castled it. But to be fair, we're just defending the entirety of the last hour and a half, pretty much. There's only one landing, which didn't really just probably scared them a bit. But after Feudo, I don't think a single to be filled in unit made it past this castle. Like they went there, they just died. So GG's. I mean, 2 hours is a long game. That was like an hour 50 real life time. It just feels so long. An hour 40 real life time. I've never had the game go this long ever. In all my time, I can't remember a game going this long for me. And I've done 4v4 games. I had a 4v4 Yucatan game, which was we were triple mezzo and Burmese, and that still wasn't that long. It still wasn't as long. So yeah, that is. Hi Namek. I mean, you did very well here, Namek. I love Wing Tassar Obuk is a top tier combination. Because they kill Wing Hussar, Polish Wing Hussar kill Arbalest, they kill Champion, and they kill Siege, and they kill Gabetto. Gabetto didn't come until later, but they killed every single thing that the potatoes did because Tom Stubber stopped making pikes. They do just kill everything in the entire comp because they have the Polish bonus against archer units for the scout line. And they're a good raiding unit. So they just literally kill everything in the entire. And also there's resources, there's hyper random generation, so much gold, so much stone, which dragged this game out even longer. Like this stone was unmined the entire game. That's 3,000 stone. This stone wasn't finished mining 1,100 stone. This stone wasn't mined another 2,000 stone. Like there was more options and more defensive capabilities in this game, which never came to fruition. With how much stone was unmined, there could have been even more castles. That was an excellent game. I can see why MT's like, don't. When I first messaged him, don't cast this one because I thought it was gonna be like I had 2 options, and being so long was when I was probably expecting it to be. So let's go to game 2 quickly because I have more things to cast, and it is almost 10 o'clock. So let's go to game 2. Let me do some things first. That and that. We bear with. Put the overlay on. Yeah, that was a good game. We'll see what game 2 is. Maghreb, that's what it is. Game 2 is Maghreb, which is... Not sure what I'm doing. Let's just double check. Sorry, I'm a bit lost. Yeah, RPS's home map was Maghreb. Before we do that's where we go. Let's do that. Yeah, here's the Civ draft. So Maghreb, what are the best Maghreb Civ? Well, RPS's home map for Maghreb. So what are people thinking for RBS and Namek? Like, there's no like Berbers here. There's no. Just the thing, like. Berbers are sort of top tier Maghreb Civ, so like Franks, Persians. Yeah, unfortunately it was a hyper random or task, I don't know how you want to be referred to. Yeah, it was a hyper random generation, so yeah. It could be anything. It could be next hybrid. You could be like a dry Socotra but with no gold, and you pick Turks. Like, oh no, there's no gold in this map. What are we doing? So yeah, I'm not loving like the Maghreb option. I mean, we'll see if they have a good strategy with the civs they have. But Koreans, you can't easily go fast castle on this map because you have to TC the stone, and that means you aren't TCing the wood or the food. Maghreb has resources split differently. So maybe I think Franks might be an option, and then maybe Italians, maybe Persians. For potatoes, Gujaras, Hindustanis, Japanese maybe. For I don't know, Tom wants to do some swordy stuff. Vikings, Goths, any Teutons. Lots of options. Double Teutons will be if there's double Teutons, I'm calling an admin win, even though I'm not an admin. That'd be so cool to see on this map. So let's reveal it. Let's reveal it. There we go. That's the wrong one. There we go. It is Hindustanis, Teutons, and Vietnamese Franks. Vietnamese, okay, I can see the Vietnamese because you can see that where your opponent's TC'd. I like that. I like that a lot. I do like that. Hindustani is such a classic, I think classic's only 9 months old, the Civ, but such a classic idea. You have very good scout cavalry against buildings, very open map, lots of shorefish villas to kill, lots of lumber villas to kill, lots of mining villas to kill. It's all very eek. And both of the potatoes are TCing the food, which I feel like is a good option. It makes it feel like Bedouins, African clearing vibes, TCing the food of a little wood line. It feels strong, because you get box turtles, 200 food each. Teutons, I feel like that's Tom Snuffle's most open Civ. It's the Civ that does cavalry the best of the ones that he picked. And cavalry is a good thing to mix in. Camel and cavalry, so the camel Civ and the cavalry Civ, I think it's a good mix of Civs. Here we have Namek and RPS doing the wood, which is also that gives you nomad vibes. Warning the wood first. TC in the wood, sorry. Warning the wood first. TC in the wood. Thank you, Zaki. Okay, so yeah, TC in the wood. It's going to be a bit slower because your vills do start around the food, so a bit slower to get TCs up for the to be filled in. But Vietnamese does allow you to see where they are. You know they're on food, which means they'll be having to send villagers to these wood lines eventually. Not at first. You don't need to at first because you can take the wood around you. I mean, MT will have to. But Tom is docking. I mean, docking seems like a good option for someone to do because there's a lot of fish here, and there's a lot of relics here if it does go late. So having water control does feel like a good idea, in theory. Whether in practice it makes your build a bit slower, which is a downside of it. It does mean you can't go as fast to feudal age, because you have to chop wood to get trees and to get villagers to make fish and shit. So they're chatting, they're bantering between each other, the two teams. But it's interesting that, to be fair, does not have a anti-camel option, an easy anti-camel option. Vietnamese doesn't really want to have to go infantry. Franks don't really want to have to go infantry. So having to go pike is a bit difficult, and Franks get terrible monks, Vietnamese get okay monks. So you don't really want to have to go face against camels. So it's always the idea to make a good camel civ in return, ideally. I mean, they can go. Vietnamese get pretty much fully upgraded, almost fully upgraded how, just missing foraging and maybe like squires maybe, or something like that. If they get okay hows, Franks get perfectly fully upgraded hows. Just that you don't really want to have to go for that option. On this map, anyway, because it's very open. So having something which isn't camels of your own is a bit awkward. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. Like, it's a bit. If Hindustani camels come out, what can you do about it? Will we see Hindustani come out? I don't know, because the gold's up here. It's difficult to get that gold. It's something you think about in Castle Age. Like, you buy your way up to Castle Age and then go on to gold. Well, you sell your way up to Castle Age at this point. So having both these two time zones close together is interesting because you're denying yourselves, you're denying sort of like mill opportunity because you're having to force yourself to go outside eventually, but you're also keeping your fields quite protected. Like, these fields here are protected by 2 TCs pretty much, but then these are very open to death because Tom Summer has no good mill opportunities. So Swings and roundabouts, I guess. But also on the other side, these vills are dead in the water. If you don't make a spearman and if you don't get feud age first and make a spearman, those vills are sort of dead because they can't run home. And they can't easily wall. You can't. It's always difficult to wall around ponds. You always forget how to, and you always want to like. Well, the food goes quite quickly, so that the walls have become redundant by the time you make them. So far, eco-wise, nice big lead for MT Explore. TC got the first TC down on the food. It's always a good step. Taking some rhinos in. That's also a good source of food, which to be fair, don't quite have access. They don't quite have access to rhinos. They just have berries, which is very slow. Even for Franks, berries are slow, unfortunately. Berries are slower than hunt, and berries are slower than shorefish, even for Franks. But it's not a bad way if you use their bonuses. That's not a bad plan to go full berries. Because the woodline's a nice option to have. They're not going to have a second building to go up. They're not going to have a lumber camp, which actually Namex realised. Yeah, when Namex realised they can't actually click out to have a second building, which is going to be that's very unfortunate because MT's already up to feudal age. Namek had that building. It would have been perfectly like equal times. Get some spearmen out, defend the mill, defend the ponds from any scout attack. But as it is, it's not looking great for their options. Both MT and Tom is up. Even getting some full friendship without Tom is up quick. Benefits of TC in the food here. Not only TC in the rhino, but TC in the shortfit, and TC in the hunt. Get some hunt involved, just get some like normal deers involved. Whereas goats, Minecraft also has goats in the centre. So there's so much food in the centre, which I feel like you feel like you're amiss to not actually TC. So even MT's taking hunt from milling the hunt, which I mean I would like maybe the mill should be a bit on this pond and then just don't mind about the hunt walk, because walking from the shorefish is more pain because you have to do it every 10 food rather than every 30 food for a hunt, or every 35 food for a hunt villager. That's what I recommend. If you are taking hunts near a mill, definitely mill the pond and just face the walk to the hunt. Hello, Jewel. I have a moderator in chat. You can actually do stuff which I can't because OBS doesn't allow me to. I can't seem to ban things on OBS when there's spam and scam. Okay, we actually see. Okay, barracks actually barracks on the mill, which is I actually like that. I wasn't thinking about that. That's actually a really good idea. Make the spearmen here. Protect yourselves from the spearmen. Don't have to walk the spearmen up. Does mean that these villas are very not having a good time. Oh wow, MT's actually not even thinking about scouts. Going full fast castle. Actually, I actually would love to see scouts. But Hindustani scouts are unrivaled in their power. I mean, they're rivaled, but not by the civs here. They're rivaled by Magyars because Magyars get the extra attack, and then they're rivaled by. That's it, really. Because Franks don't get bloodlines, so they're just. I mean, they're good at the start, but they start to die at the end. But now MT's found both of the home bases. Yeah, I like to see them scouts because they absolutely destroy buildings. No, don't ban anyone, Jewel. Just that yesterday not yesterday. Last time I streamed, I needed someone to ban because someone was doing a scam message. I went on OBS, I was like, I don't know how to do this. It's not coming up with. It says reply. I have the option to just reply or like highlight the message. Like I don't want to do either. I want to delete the message, remove the message. I am a mod on my own channel. +22 +1 FC. Was that what it was? Wow. I know it was quick. I didn't even realise it came in. But RPS is also on a fast castle strat with Vietnamese, so it's not bad. But I just don't know what Vietnamese can do in this scenario. Like, ideal word, make elephants, obviously, because they're elephants. But they won't beat Hindustanis. And here we see Tom's going feudal scouts, and that's a Vil kill. Yeah, because there was no one under the TC. So yes, one Vil kill dead. But also, MT Explorer's lost a Vil to the boar, which I didn't notice. I'm very bad at noticing you've been lost to the boar. You didn't tell me that, MT, in chat. You didn't tell me you lost a Vil to the boar. So that's bad semi co-casting. Yep, thanks for DMs. I will read that when I'm free. Oh, never mind. It's going to be even. Yep. Tom's also. I caught that one, Tom. I did kill you losing the vote to the ball or to the rhino. So I caught that appeared on camera. So I'm streaming half of the South Eco KDs. Okay, the spearman's doing some work. I think these will survive. Actually, I know these will survive. That's only one death again. I think this can go back on fish. So yeah, yeah, they're fighting. They're holding quite well to be filled in. I wouldn't say that they're most ideal town centre spots, but I want to see resources. Like, yeah, I thought so. Like so much on wood, but no lumber camp. Oh, build a lumber camp. You need those lumber upgrades. And you definitely afford to. But they're all going to Castle Age. Yeah, RPS can Castle Age. I mean, I wouldn't wheelbarrow, but I guess you might want to rescue those at some point. TC in the gold, love to see it. Waiting to TC the gold, yep, good, love to see it. They're good. That's good. I think that's a good plan. MT has to TC the wood because they can't TC the food. Oh no. That's not a good. That's a sad TC. They should be able to fight. They have to heal the villagers. They have the but they're feudal Teuton scouts. So they don't have the melee armor upgrade. I think is that all cavalry or is that nightlight? Can't remember. But they don't have the extra melee armor because they only have one. So these villagers should kill that scout. They can get most of the surround on that scout's dead. A vill dies though, but I think that's as best as you can hope for when your TC gets spotted like that. And now we see MT going on the gold as well. Think camels are coming out. Camels are good to see because, as I say, what can Vietnamese really do? You have to go archers if they're going camels, which means they're very slow and you have to build up a whole mass of archers, whether it's rattan or normal archers. Probably normal archers because RPS is not on stone. So I like the Vietnamese idea of knowing where their TCs are and like knowing that they spawn them food to their wood is weak. That's a good piece of game sort of vibe there. But I just struggle to think what Vietnamese do in this situation on a 2v2 because you need to be supporting 2v2s. You need it's not like a 3v3 where you have the pocket or 4v4 where you have the pockets to like boom up and then go into the super powerful unit. Both players have to really commit military, and going double knight is not going to work unfortunately against Hindustanis. And he's good. Oh yeah, elites are not bad against camels because camels only get one lot of bonus damage. They only get the bonus damage against the cavalry aspect of the elephant, not the elephant aspect. Actually, yes, I think they trade, but Hindustani camels are faster attacking, so I don't think they trade well against Hindustanis, unfortunately. And they're very slow, so you want to get a big mass and just steamroll. And I don't think Hindustanis will let you. But here we see Namek raiding Tom Stuffel's stone. Good to see. Tom Stuffel's been a bit slow to TCs. Only got one up, got a foundation for a second one. So winning water though, but being a bit slow to see, quite slow to booming. So the moment the Hindustani boom is being somewhat under sort of. There's potential that to be fair, will catch up soon. Let's look at Eco KDs. Yeah, RPS lost 5 vills on that TC and in that I think it was in this mid area as well. So yeah, Garrison, Namek, Garrison. Oh, one will go down, another will goes down. The spearmen are chilling. The camels getting chased by the. Because camels are they're really good against buildings, they're very weak against arrow fire. So this TC should be enough to scare that off. But that was a lot of vills. That was 3 vills died in the gold. That's the problem with this sort of map. Whether it's Maghreb or Bedouins, African clearing, you have to really think about a lot of areas in the map at once. You have to think about how your gold vills are doing, how your stone vills are doing, how your wood vills are doing, and how your food vills are doing. And it's all a lot of pressure, isn't it? The scout dies to the camels. The spearmen are running away, but yeah, the spearmen. I mean, maybe think about pike at this point. Yeah, I feel like spearmen's going to be a unit going to be going for a lot. But we do see Tom Snuffles. We do we're still not building this town centre, but going for Teuton Knights. Where's Emu? Someone get you'll get Emu in here. Just let them know that Teutons are on the field with Knights. But yeah, these villas are dying. You know, Tom Snuffles is struggling to get gold because his gold mine he decided to is next to a knight. But the camels will come and save that. Teuton Knights are killing the mining camp, so if any of these have okay, they haven't got the second armor upgrade yet, but they're more effective than the Frank Knights. Equal HP because of bloodline / HP, I think. Equal armor, but not equal. Yeah, they got the extra attack and the extra melee armor from being Teutons. So it's for someone, yeah. So currently it's in the favour of the Teuton player, but there is a castle. There's a castle here. Not a castle. Sorry, there's a town centre here, which is gonna help. And these knights are 320. These 240. So it's getting close. That these knights are going to be quite ineffective soon. And Namek should be in a position to take a fight soon. Yeah, there's equal HP here, but yeah, not quite the time. There's still too many knights. Equal HP, but less equal damage output. But now under this town centre, Tom Snuffles is probably focusing on something else at the moment. Knight goes down now. Yeah, this is free to take. And what do we know about Teuton Knights, everyone? They're a bit slow. Yeah, MT is smurfing because they're Hindustanis and just making villages. 82 vil, that's an insane boom. +2 armor, camels, 14 camels, 3 in the queue. It's almost to the point, Namek keeps forgetting to garrison, it's almost at the point these camels can take the TC. They definitely take the TC if Namek hits the garrison, that's 10 vils lost. To kill the TC, it's ungarrisoned. Yeah, it's ungarrisoned, MT, it's ungarrisoned, just kill it. There's no flag on it. Kill the TC. Your Hindustani camels. Murder it. And then finally, yeah, you've done it. Murdered it. Even the one vil garrison will not shoot an arrow. So these camels will kill this camels will kill. Apparently they are attacking. I just don't know which one's attacking. Okay, it does 2 damage, sorry, my mistake. One vil does do damage. Maybe it's only with... Okay, I don't know why. I always have Ray Barrel have Garrison 1 vil. It doesn't do any damage, but... I guess it does now. Okay, there's more camels. Yeah, this TC's going down. Maximum fully upgraded camels. Oofed. At home, Tubby filled in's not... It's the same as the previous game. They're just defending at this point. Defending from night pressure, defending from camel pressure. I haven't seen any attacks apart from in here from To Be Filled In. It's all been a bit how do we survive, and now Namek's off gold. Let's go back to the gold. Where's the gold? Yeah, Namek's off gold. 2 on gold. I don't know where they are, but I guess they're at home. Yeah, they're at home. Pretty much off the good gold, and definitely off stone for sure. MT Squad doesn't even need to build that castle. Yeah, I can build that castle a bit more brazen. I mean, you could just castle drop at this point. Stick a castle here. You don't really need to defend. You don't really need to defend these resources. Camels engage the pikes. These are pikes. Good option. They got an armor in. They get another attack in, but I think there's not enough, unfortunately. And then the pikes die. And then you can, okay, that TC's fully garrisoned, yeah. You can't kill that TC, unfortunately. That is a fully garrisoned castle. I don't think you can be able to take it, but MT's going to try. He's going to try and take it. That castle will go to TC. Yeah, these camel numbers are dropping from the pikes and from the TC. A bit of a waste, of effort. But oh my god, I didn't notice this. All of RPS bills died on food. They have none on food now. RPS bills are dying here. Tom hasn't got the second armor upgrade, but RPS is only four villages are working for RPS. 25 villas overall, and 15 of them are here. And there's another bunch of camels. Oh no. Yeah, I think I'm on the vibes of banning Maghreb. I feel like people who are good at Maghreb are just good at Maghreb. You sort of need the civs for it. A fast camel civ, yeah, GG's called. That was, yeah, it's a quicker game, let's just say that. It's a show the power of a camel civ on this map, and probably one of the best camel civs, Hindustanis. Yeah, I mean that's fair. I tried to in practice. me and Bruce practiced against someone in a parallel group, and we got similarly smashed. I'm not casting your set empty. I'm casting Zaki and Metasoslu. You can't keep doing it. Ask someone else to cast it. But no, it's fine. I know you weren't being 100% serious. Is there no good map for you? I mean, you really went hype around them. You took the game to the longest game I've ever seen played. Like, personally, obviously I've seen, like, people cast games, but a game that I've played or casted, that's the longest game I've experienced. So you took really well, but then, like I said, you weren't really attacking, you're just, like, constantly defending really well. Yeah, there isn't, I guess, I mean, some maps might, maybe not this one. Let's just say that, maybe. If someone's got a camel civ, there's things to watch out. If someone's got a camel civ, it's probably not the best or good camel civ because MT also had good Jaras available. Camel civs are what you need on this map, and you don't really have many. You've already used. I can't remember which ones you have now. Camel civs you have. You have Chinese and Persians and Tatars are your camel civs, which aren't stellar camel civs. And your knight civs are Franks, Poles, Sicilians. So yeah, it's just camel civs are what you sort of need because it's open play. So anything knight civs are good, and then you use the camel civs to beat the knight civs. Yeah, the MT I think MT, if you play this map in the Akal League in the 3v3, where it's 3v3 suits just better because there's 3 distinct areas. There's the ore, there's the food, and there's the wood with the water. So 2 players, you have to think about: do I want food? Do I want ore? Mining. And I think the right answer is food. Food, and then build some lumber camps like you would play something like Bedouins, African Clearing. Food the mill, wood lumber camp the outsides, make them nice and warm and nice and snug. Keep them safe from scouts. I think that's the vibe I'm getting from seeing and playing Maghreb. But thanks for playing. Hope that you've learned things, and yeah, Malians are a tough civ to play against because you were cross matched up. Poles do really well against Malians. Well, Poles do really well against infantry of Malians, and then Britons can fairly trade against each other. But Britons v Malians is not a fun. It's not a fun matchup. I can see why you're sort of, can we swap sides, please? You hate no maps and war maps. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's not really a water map to an extent. It is just it's pure nomad hate. So maybe like Forest Pond might be your vibe because it's not that watery. It's just treat it like a hideout game, and you do quite well in it. So maybe that's something might be your cup of tea. If you like your hideout from arena from the ladder, then Forest Pond might be your sort of jam. Because there is water, yes, but you could just treat it like you're playing Spanish from Nomad and just like, I'm going to make 4 fish and chips, get the food I need to age up, and then ignore the water and just focus on land. Or you could just think about trushing or like man-at-arms rush. You're either Arabia players? Okay. Yeah, there's no Arabia in this matchup. The most Arabia you get is hyper random, so I can see why you wanted to play that first. or wanted to play like just like crossing your fingers that you had an Arabia matchup. But poles are a really good hideout / forest pond civ, so definitely think about posing that. Let's move away from this set. A good set. Lots of the first game was such a good game. It was such an absolute stellar game, and I would hate to play that myself because I'd be so frustrated when they were pushed against Malians and Britons. Yeah, you picked like classic. You've picked classic. I mean, you haven't picked Ethiopians. If you picked Ethiopians, you would have picked like all the classic, or Mayans. You would have picked all the classic sort of Arabia sort of style sims. But Britain Franks just screams at me Arabia. Yeah, MT's also good at Arabia, but yeah, maybe. Well, that's why MT's also gone Britain's, Britain's and Gujaras also top class, and Hijazai is also top class Arabia sims. Byzantines. Look at all this. I'm looking at all the MT's sims, and they're pretty much all good. All good Arabia civs except humans. Okay, we've done that game. We've done a game, guys. I'm going to have a break for about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to be muted, but I'll do some work for the next civ. So we'll do Zaki and Tasuzlu. I'm going to get it eventually. Casting your game next against whoever you're against, and I'll learn who that is. Dark Side 2. But I'll be back for like 2 minutes while I set things up and have a break from talking. So catch you later. Hello, and we are back. I have prepared things for the next one, so let's do that. There we go. We are casting Abuka Buru versus Darkseid 2, also known as Los Escartidos or something like that. Let me, actually I forgot one thing, let me just put in streams casting. I'm not going to cast you, I'm going to cast versus it's Mario D, isn't it, Zaki? Just to confirm that. It's sorry Zaki. Nightbods, stop spamming caps. But it's Mario D is their lead contact, isn't it? As his Discord name for MD, right? Just before I add him. Mario D 67 or something like that. But we have Apikuroboru versus Darkseid 2. The map draft in front of us. We have Enemy Islands as Zaki's home pick. We're just going to call you Zaki now. I'm not going to call you Action. Let me know why your team name is called your team name. But banning Triceratops and Team Mecopolis, and Darkseid have gone for Forest Pond and as their home map, and then Bedouins and Hyper Random banned with Maghreb as starting up. So we're going to see another Maghreb, and we can compare and contrast Division 2 with Division 4 Maghreb and see how it compares 1500 ELO to 1100 ELO. Or 1200 ELO. So there we go. We can run out of them and see if they're around. What else am I doing? That's the map draft. Let's close that. We're going to do Maghreb first. Let's do this one instead. Here's the civs. So Maghreb is all very Maghreb-y civs now. Both the Darkseid civ, they've gone for they were in my draft. They were in Division 3's draft because they accidentally smurfed the group. So they've gone pretty much exactly identical. They've gone for Gujarat, double Hindustani, double Cuban, double Burgundian, double Japanese, double Teuton. The only difference is that Sevenico has gone for Cumans and MD has gone for Magyar. So somebody's gone for Poles and MD's gone for Magyar. So pretty much identical, which leaves little to the imagination of what they're going to do. So on Maghreb, I'm thinking a Gujari Hindustani mix, maybe a Gujari Hindustani Magyar mix. Maybe Hindustani Teutons. I think Hindustani is definitely coming. Double Hindustani would be absolutely poggers if they did double Hindustani, but that feels like a bit too burning your civs on same civs just in case they're a bit iffy. Well, Zaki and Mare, I'm just calling Mare because it's easier. I'm sorry, I apologise if it's Turkey, if it's a Turkish name, I'm not good at Turkish. Zaki's they've got Spanish Poles, Italians, Dravidians Japanese, Turks Burgundians, Tatars Khmer, Bohemian Slavs, and Bengali Sicilians. So Zaki wins by drafting Bengalis, and if you don't play with them, Zaki, I'm already going to stick 1-0 to the opposition for that set. If you don't play Bengalis, and then that is cumulative. Every set you don't play Bengalis, you're going to lose a point. But yeah, so more of a mixed civ. So for Maghreb, I'm predicting some sort of like Poles with Bohemians, maybe for like some like castle things. I don't know, Hussite wagons. Turks for their light cav. It's not like Maghreb friendly. Not as Maghreb friendly as Darkseid, that'll be quite interesting. We'll see how it goes. So let's find the replay. I forgot to do that. Pretty much ready. Let's find the replay and let's get cracking. Aware that at 4 hours of my stream, Twitch might be like, nope, you're not doing any more. I'm making a new stream. But hopefully we'll finish before 4 hours. Because that would be awkward if we don't. So we are ready and raring to go. So let's minimize this, let's minimize that, and let's get cracking. We have Let me move my chat to the side, so I had to do some mod stuff in the chat. Let me go, let me see the whole screen in the overlay. Okay, we have, who got the civs? Japanese Khmer, okay, and Cuman Hindustanis. I knew it was Hindustanis, I didn't expect Cumans. Maybe they're saving their unique civs for a different map. But Japanese Khmer, so I wasn't, Japanese, I mean, can win water, I guess. Khmer, fast castle, always works. So we have Zaki and Mare in doing food, TCing food. That's what we saw the potatoes do last set. So even Division 2 people are doing that. So so that's a good sign. That's something to it. And both of the Darksiders are also TCing food. They got lovely pond. Look at this double pond here, double pond there, double pond. Ah. This poor outcrop was ruining the double pond TC, Zaki. Unfortunately, I don't have 50 followers. You need 50 followers for a Twitch affiliate, and you need to stream like 7 days a month, and I have not streamed 7 days a month in these last month. That's the main. That's the main handle is the 50 followers. That is. We see elephants in this map. I think it was rhinos last generation. So Maghreb does have some generational changes. Who'd have thought it? It still looks very deserty, but that's very sort of, yeah, there's no elephants. And there's still goats, and they still start with Bactrian camels. The two-humped variety. Look at those pixels move. Okay, I thought Japanese might go for fish, but they're not going for, Zaki's not going for fish, so like, I can't remember Japanese. I guess to get the cheaper eco buildings, which is very useful when you're remilling everything. Okay, there's a house here. Maybe she's going to water. Okay, she's going to water. But feel free, Zaki, to explain some of your choices of Civ, I don't know, Civ. Like, am I right with Japanese? I guess winning water is maybe an idea. But what's your comp idea? Stick Japanese in this map, because it's right. Cav archers? Are you thinking Cav archers? So I don't know. Can't remember when we playing on. We're playing Bedouins the other day on ranked, and I like Japanese. I have to go Cav archers. So DS Darkside are actually talking in chat, and where's Alan there? I need a Spanish translator. I think Seba Estes means here. They're here, maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know Spanish. My partner's learning Spanish, so maybe I can ask them for some Spanish. Yeah, I mean, they're very good Maghreb civs. But as we've seen, no te escucho, I don't know what that means. They're very good because they've got the fastest cavalry in the game with Cumans, and they've got Hindustanis, which are the best camels in the game, which is it's a pretty solid combination, to be honest. I don't know what no te escucho means either. They already said that. Now Sabanico is saying it. Where's the Spanish translator? Aqua, do you speak Spanish? I'm just asking, like, we need Eleanor here pronto. I don't think it's too much of a worry. I'm not in a massive desire to learn what they're saying. But Mare is already aged up like a boss with Khmer. That's not Mare Heroes. Who needs a mill? Who needs a lumber camp? Am I right? I mean, it would be nice in feudal age because then you can get the upgrades. So we'll see if Mare decides to lumber camp the wood line. I mean, fast feudal into what? That's the question. They got enough for a stable though, so it's a pretty good build. Pretty much 1 second ago, enough food for a stable, so they could go fast scouts. And we do see some Khmer scouts on the way. No prerequisite buildings for them. You know, habla Spanish. Oh, that's a shame. I don't think they're what's the word? Massively communicating in Spanish. It seems. I feel like maybe there might be in voice, but I don't think they're using non-voice comms. Apparently we got Mares Rex because they're in Turkish. That's fine. Don't think we need that. Too much information on that either. You see the emigration. Immigration of the Cumans. Cumans are going up to feudal age. Are they going to build a feudal age TC with this ranch? No, they're not. Not at the moment. Yes. Okay, there was a pause. A pause with no reason. I don't know if they were, I don't know, panicking. Okay, the others are just sort of start walking here, waiting for 30 seconds. Okay, they are going to build a TC there. Not quite got the. Been a bit early. Maybe they think they thought they're further away from the TC than they were. Perhaps they're just a bit early. We see some scouts still on the way for the command. This poor Bactrian camel's going to have a tricky time, but they are. Mayor does know where they. I think they must know where they. Yeah, they know where both players are. I think the same is true. The same is not true. They only know where Mayor is. They don't know where Zaki is. So there's a bit of mis-scouting there by Darkside. They've gone like scanning. They've scanned it horizontally rather than vertically. If you know what I mean. I know it's isometric, so it doesn't really help saying all diagonals, but you know what I mean. They've sort of scanned left. You can see the plane of the terrain lies mainly in Spain. You're informed. Okay. No, a lot of technical issues. I didn't know the Darksiders from different continents. Okay, maybe. Or even different countries. I just thought they were like South American, both of them. But okay, that would explain things. I mean, I've only played one Superdraft set, and that was 3 continents. It was me and Bruce in Europe, and then Beaver in America, and whoever I played. The other one in Australia. I can't remember the name. He was the captain as well. But yeah, that was a bit of an issue. Begins with an M, whatever their name was. But both Seveniko and Zaki age up at the same time. With water play by Zaki, so definitely securing more. Double dock fun here by Zaki. Eating fish for quite a few more hours, but also not eating their own fish here, which I feel like is a missed opportunity. There's still a lot of fish on these shorefish here. I feel like going hard. It's a bit hard, a bit too hard on water. You don't need to go that hard. So we have a lot of commerce scouts. They're chasing some camels around the map, but that camel's going to see Zaki's home soon. Where are the rest of the camels? There's not the rest of the scouts. You can hear some scouts here. It's hard to tell with the grey, but in return there's going to be 8 scouts in queue by Sebeniko, which is a bit overboard, but I don't dislike that. I don't dislike that ballsy play. Some spearmen as well in defence, but these scouts could kill these vills if they wanted to. They don't want to, but they could if they wanted to. They're just walking past. Yep, still walking past. But more scouts on the way, so even these 8 scouts are... Okay, Sebeniko maybe thought it was a bit overboard and decided to cancel some of that production, maybe in favour of villagers. Spearman dies. You need my spearman rules. You need 1 spearman for every 2 scouts for every undefended resource. So that's 8 scouts. You need 4 spearmen any place where your villas are under threat, pretty much. Luckily, there aren't any places for Sebeniko. It's kept his economy quite safe. We've got Ward Nice in, and Mario is also, I think it's Mario MD. I'm just calling him MD because I can't remember his first name for a second. I'm not good with memory like that. They've also got quite protected vills. Yeah, so these spearmen are sort of window dressing at this point. They're not really protecting anything. But yeah, even though these vills are protected from death, they're not protected from being idle, which is unfortunate. This is going to be a lot of idle time from having to keep darting in and out every time the scouts even whisper their horsey breath at them. But yeah, there's a cumin broom and there's a fish broom, and I prefer the cumin broom because you spent a bit too much on galleys, and also you weren't fishing, you weren't using your vills to fish, which is quite important, I think. You put too much on wood for your. I guess I don't dislike it. I prefer the cumin broom, to be honest, because it's protected from scouts, but then you're also protected because no one's fighting water. So mixed bag. I feel like. I looks like Cuban's better than Japanese here because they have the ability that Japanese do not. That's just my main gripe. We have an engagement here in the west. The spearmen go down. There's only 2 spearmen for 10 scouts. And the TC's involved, but we lose a Vil, we lose another Vil, we lose a third Vil. This TC is full. Let's lose a 4th Vil. We lose all the Vils here. That is a problem of TC defending, I guess. We lose a 5th Vil, probably. These scouts are not even caring about the arrows at this point. 5th Vil go down. She'll go down. Nope, she survives. He survives. The Hindustani scouts engage. And yeah, that fights off. And Hindustani might have to go home and track this threat and stop this threat, because that's killing a lot. 6 Vils dead. That's 6 Hindustani Vils. I know they're cheap, but I don't think they're that cheap. I like MD, yeah. I just like the humans over the Japanese. I don't know. Sure, you're going to win fish, but I don't think you're going to have much to go into unless you want to go Cav Archers, which against double camel players, yeah. That's just my vibes. I think Japanese, it's just a bit too open for Japanese. But yeah, Mara is really providing so much pressure. 16 Khmer scouts against 8 Hindustani scouts. They can't even raid because there's just too many scouts. Having to go double stable because Mara's doing double stable. But double stable and also lots of spearmen as well to support. Oh, sorry, that's Zaki's spearmen. Zaki's makes spearmen to support, which is good. I like to see that. But then so is MD. MD's also made some spearmen to support. So fairly similar vibes here. Castle Age coming in for the Cuman player. Zaki's already coming up to Castle Age first. The 2 players on scouts are not really. Everything's is much worse economy. I definitely think that Mare's going to age up faster with 28 on food, but a lot of these are going to die. That's 2 Vils dead. That's 3, 4. Those 2 going to die. Oh no! Kill them! They're so weak. The spearmen get there just in time to save those 2 women in the corner. The camel doesn't quite die. The camel's. You can't see me, honest. I'm invisible here. I'm hiding. I'm hiding. Oh, you wish you had the scout armor from the Turks. Yep, that would be very handy. You think that Cav should have good potential, but or you think the Khmer should just have more potential. Can't remember what you were quite agreeing to. Deny the farm. Ignore the Vil. Farm's more important. Kill it. Aww. Please kill the farm. But yeah, the MD spearmen are helping, but there's so much death. There's so much death happening. But yeah, 14 Vils there. But then they got 9. They got 9 kills earlier, so it's a bit more to and fro revenge at this point. But the idle time for Sebeniko is absolutely insane. Then the broom for MD's even more insane. 58 Vils. That's compared to 59 eco. It's fairly identical. But the fish will run out soon. Look at the fish are being more and more inefficient every second that goes by, and the fish are inefficient. And Zaki's going to run out of food soon enough. Run out of fish to fish. Oh, our base was spectator. Okay, you were doing a joint spectator. I was not. I was not in the Discord at that point. I don't think. I mean, I wasn't. I just wasn't busy. I was busy enough to watch it. But we see a siege push. Okay, we see some Japanese siege. I like that. Cuman's going to have to go. Knights in return. Cuman knights, Japanese pikemen. I think Japanese pikemen win that fight. What can Hindustani do against pikemen? And the answer is nothing until imp. So. In this time, Sebeniko's got a bit of work in their hands to survive a siege push, a pike siege push. Mare's wiping up all the Sebeniko scouts. Sebeniko's got 23 Vils, a camel and a dream at this point. He's having to be carried so hard by MD. 15 vills idle, 23 vills, 8 on, so there's 8 on this, 8 inside MD's town centre, chopping wood. Oh, there's 4 which have been unnoticed in the south. But yeah, these scouts are still putting lots of work in, there's more and more coming, and 7 is going to the Castle Age. Mare is just only clicking up. I thought Mare would come up first, but then Mare's really been focused on getting 17, almost 18 scouts on the field. When they become light cav, they will be they'll be having a fun time. The stable gets destroyed, knights come out and say hi. I mean, there's mangonels and mangonels, there's mangonels and pikes, there's mangonels going to get shot, kills a pikeman. Zaki, you've killed your own pikeman there. I mean, we pretty much did almost kill the mangonel, to be honest, as well, but it's just funny to see the pikeman die. Knights are fighting back the scouts. These are human knights. These are actually faster than scouts. And they'll be faster than the light cav if they come in, because light cav are slower than scouts. Let's just double check. To 1.49 speed, okay, Scout Cav just outspeed, but it's not looking good. Not with all the rearrangement of formation. But then these Spearmen and Pikemen are having a bit of a weird time. Although these scouts have accidentally found all of Sebenico's vills, so, or there's even a camel mixed in. The pike aren't killing the camel first, so these scouts are just going to die. And the vills are fighting. They're taking part. That's a great clear up there by Darkside. Now the pike are dead, the scouts are dead, the siege push is dead at this point. You're having to bring monks in, but the mangonel's going to die. There's monks out of monk juice. There's just knights everywhere. There's one over in the corner. There's one coming from the southwest, from the southwest, from everywhere. And to panic mode another barracks. And some siege in return will be nice from Darkside, but because at the moment these monks are going to be pretty unchecked at the moment, and more pike are coming through. But I think Zaki's run out of fish in the back. I think that there's one fish there. Yeah, there's one fish there, and there's one fish here. That's it. That's all the fish on the map. Okay, there's 2 in the corner which haven't been spotted. Hopefully Zaki will spot those soon. Okay, bring knights out. That doesn't feel like a good place for a knight to walk out into. The siege pushes continue, but now with the support of monks, which is a good thing to see. It's always good to bring some monks into some siege. Mayor's gone to Castle Age with husbandry and knights, but not light cav. So just all the scout cav dying probably dissuaded them from going light cav, I believe. If Mayor is still here, let me know. If you're like, I just lost too many scouts. Ignore. What'll be fun would be some Kipchaks. They trade okay against siege because they have the extra damage. Or they may do one damage against siege, but they can do that 3 times if they hit. So full siege defense at this point. Full siege defense from this TC and then knights from the other TC. It feels like almost. 2 TC cumin boom, and a 3rd on the gold and a 4th on the gold as well. But castles would be nice to see, just in general, because I like castles. No particular reason. Steppies coming in as well. That they're going to do well against the monks. I think they have a they're less conversion weak than knights are, and they kill them with equal ferocity. Yeah, you thought about the fight you had to fight, but yeah, there was spear in return, and yeah. Camels and knights, I think it's just a bit too much. And Vills also killed a pike, I think, in the end. So yeah, there are monks in the field. There's a few monks. Yeah, if monk got converted, is a steppy going to get converted? See, steppies take much longer to get converted. The siege goes down, the monks go down. But 2 units converted, but then there's even more knights on the field now. Can't stop the cumin boom. Maybe mix some camels in so you can kill some things that get converted. But definitely think about killing that monastery is getting a lot of use for. Oh, no, the knight just walked past the monk. The monk just watches them walk past the monastery. Wonder what that's just some goats, everyone. It's not teal units ready to strike. And then these monks they're gonna try and convert, but no chance against step lancers. Here we see some Khmer units, some Khmer knights on the field. This is where the camels also be used for. But currently MDs are just going for light cav knights. not realising there's more knights in return. But MD has the armour advantage, but not the attack. It's fairly equal in upgrades. Mare has got iron casting, and there's some Japanese pikes mixed in there, are hiding in their barracks and just wandered through. Scorpion's having to run away. There's a great engagement here for a Puku. That's your team name, a Puku. That's what it's going to be, a Puku. And then the units come into this TC, and Sabinico isn't garrisoning until didn't lose it. The pikes aren't going to seriously threat things. Here we see a Gulam. Okay, now everywhere else we see some pikes in the eco. I just think Gulam's the right unit here. There's no archer units being made. Why make a Gulam? Really? I mean, I guess it's a production building, but I think camels is the correct call here for Hindustanis. I guess you want to make raiding Gulams, but you don't have any infantry armour, so they're not the best raiding unit at the moment. But here we see mopping up. That's a lot of Deadville. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Deadvilles there against MD. I mean, they're humans. They have 100 already, so... Yeah, I see that Zaki's actually... Yeah, Zaki's on fish traps. Didn't quite see those. Haven't got the relics yet either. That would be a nice thing to see. You have water control. You can get 8 relics for free. Make a transport ship. Take a monk up there. Get the relics. That's 8 relics worth of fun. Pretty much what it is. 8 relics worth of fun. These Gulams are going to die. I mean, they would die, but there are knights here to support. Gulams do not do well against knights. They have 0 melee armor. Well, they're 0 base melee armor, so they do not trade well against knights. They're great at raiding. I'd love to see like 15 Gulams just go here, because that's a lot of gold being taken by Mare, and that's all of Mare's gold villas, I imagine, because there's no gold here on this side. What we do see is archery ranges. It's Cav Archer on the play. Gulam's a great shot if there's Cav Archer on the play. And it looks like it might be going for Bloodlines and for Paladin Archer. Yeah, Cav Archer is going to be the play by Zaki. In which case, Gulam's an excellent sense there to make Gulams, because they really shut down Cav Archers. Meanwhile, on the front, these buildings, more monasteries, double monastery. Not making any monks though, but double monastery. Think about using the mangonels to clear some of this up. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of Khmer Knights at the back. At the moment, there's more Khmer Knights than Cuman Knights, so a fight could be taken. Could easily be taken, especially if +2 comes in. But we have Zaki going up to Imp. Imp with Cav Archers. It's the dream that many of us have. Here we see a villager try and take this goal. That's a bit sad. But using the Gulams to defend, I think that's a... If you can get that's enough villas to keep that up. If you keep that walled in as well, in case these knights decide to have another idea about that. Then we see a nice raid here as well. Well, killing a few more vills. That might even up some of the KD, but bring the knights closer to general danger. But we do see that castle's coming up and check. This mare's off gold for now. Has to really panic and go to Zaki's gold or even beyond. And we see the human knights on the raiding warpath. A castle at home will be really useful at some point, because there's going to be a lot of Cav Archers. 13. Okay, it's not a lot, but maybe they're getting all the upgrades. They're getting bracer, they're getting ballistics. They're getting all the upgrades that they need as Japanese. And the castle has to come up to defend this gold, so it might get a bit crowded here in a minute, but currently it's safe from death. And this gold's going to be freed up for Sabinico to take. I mean, you could just take this one, to be honest. Don't know why you needed to go panic and take this one, but it is more defended now because of the castle. This has been cleared up. This fort's been cleared up by the Cumans. Excellent. That was nice and quick work there by the Mangonels. Double monastery down. That's a lot of investment and the siege push. But because Imp is in, Trebs are on the way. Heavy Cav Archer. It's looking like a tasty offensive options here. Yes, Khmer elephants. Yes, Khmer elephants will be a good sight. Not because they're elephants. That's 100% the reason why. But Mare's having a bit of a mare at the moment. Losing a lot of. It's not as broomy as Zaki. It's sort of the front. It's never fun being the front line. losing a TC here, having to like really collect really inefficient gold. But Trebs are coming in the north. But there's a lot of Ghulams, and there's double army here. There's Knights and Cav Archers and Trebs, and only Ghulam. The Cuman is nowhere to be seen. There's none of MD's camels or Knights or anything. And these, even though they're under a castle, it's not a good fight for the Ghulams. They really need to either hide or run away. And taking the fight is not a good option because now there's no Ghulams to kill the Cav Archers, because they did really well against the Cav Archers. And this forward position is now lost, and Sebeniko is having to run away. And MD is having to burn a panic castle just to make sure that that doesn't get pushed any further. But then Zaki's under threat by the Cuman Knights. There's Knights raids everywhere. That's why I like to see some mobile units, and that's why Cav Archers are the only play for the Japanese to make. Because they do get fully upgraded, but nothing special. That's Japanese Cav Archers. No unique techs, no bonuses, civ bonuses that helps their Cav Archers. Just plain old fully upgraded. Now Parthians in, conscriptions in, they're pretty much as upgraded as they can be at this point. All they're missing is the last armour. And yeah, this castle's safe, but there's 3 Trebs. I don't know if there's Catapruto. We'll see if Catapruto is in. I know we could just ask Zaki if Catapruto is in. yeah, Mayor's unlucky to lose half their eco, and it shows. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you're the shield for the unwavering for Cav Archer force that's coming. Okay, it's not Catapruto yet, but yeah, you're just a shield Mayor. Yeah, still no relics. Still sad. Coinage coming. Trade looks like an option. Trade from there to there. I imagine difficult to trade for this wood, but trading in the backline is the plan. What do we see from Dark Side? Not much military for Sebeniko. Quite a lot of military for MD, but it's all it's light cav mixed with some camels, some steps, some knights. It's a bit sort of hit and miss here. Hussar come in, Imp has come in. Mayor's also got reached Imp, going for Cavalier, going for plate binding. No elephants, sad. But there's no castles, so that does explain it, and has been able to collect stone. Here we see the Step Lancers trying to engage trying to defend, kill the Knights out engaging the Mangonels, and the Cav Archers trying to kill everything. But the Mangonels still get some good shots off. They got some good shots before they were sniped. I feel like pure camel is the way, and definitely, yep. MD is definitely thinking about militia, and also camels. That's definitely feels like a misclick there. Okay, there's a castle here, the very forward castle here, threatening the farming eco. Characters are streaming out. There's a panic castle here, in front of another panic castle. No ballistics in yet for either of the Darksiders, and those characters are having quite a bit of fun walking around. Zaki's having to retreat, so there's a bit of a push in the west, but the east is sort of dying a bit. Like they're getting hemmed in. They might run out of wood soon, Darkside, and MD it's interesting because losing a lot of vills here, getting the castle denied at quite a low percent, and just hiding under here with no ballistics, no, well, you need murder holes, but like no camels. I just want to see loads of camels. What's the resources like? Gold. You can make camels. Just make camels for just millions of camels. Never stop making camels. I know you don't get heavy camel with humans, but I feel like ordinary camel isn't the worst option against so much knight and cav archer play. I would have clicked elephant here as well, Aqua, because I love elephants. But I can see why Cavalier was more vibing towards. So this castle's been trebbed down, but that castle's deleted, or can't see any human trebs. I'm not sure how that castle. Oh, that's a TC. Sorry, that TC's been trebbed. I was like, no, it wasn't a castle in the end. But this foundation's getting trebbed down. You delete that sooner rather than later. MD. But then once that happens, vroom, Kimura Cavaneko just stream through this right side, eliminate all of the wood eco. Look how much farm eco is happening. Look how wood dependent Seven eco is at this point. 63 farms, pretty much, as far as I can tell. But no military. You need stables. You need hussars. Where are the stables, Sebenico? Where's the military? It's 2v1 at the moment, military-wise. And all that military is 43 hussars from Cumans. I mean, the sniper in the Treb, which is excellent play. But against Japanese hounds, hussars just don't cut it. I do love the raids, though. The raids are absolutely stellar. You can't put halberdiers everywhere. Apparently, Nightbot's been more active now. It wasn't the start of. It wasn't the start of this. But Nightbot is actually doing things. So stop spelling caps. I did see that samurai was coming in. I did see you say that samurai was coming in. I'm sorry if Nightbot is doing things unfairly, but I don't know how to stop it. I swear I haven't made it that sort of strict, because the raids make Nightbot less and more strict. I swear I didn't make it that strict. But now we see Hussar raids from the Khmer as well, I think. No, those are just Cuman Hussars coming back to deal with the Cav archers. It's all very confusing here. I just see Hussars coming back from the same direction, like riding side by side. I mean, the west, the castle's being pushed. You Gulams can't quite snipe with Cavalier. Cavalier are excellent answer to Gulam, and the castles are going down. In the east, stabilising, but the Khmer's just cleaning up all of the wood line. That's pretty much all of Seven Nico's and MD's wood. That's entirety of the guild's wood. That's 50 on wood there, pretty much. I mean, obviously there's some wood in the middle here, but they're really struggling. It's a game of map control now, and map control is definitely in favour of a Puku, and not in favour of Darksiders. Or is it a Cooper? I don't know I can't remember which way the letters go. This TC didn't even die at the end. I thought this TC died, but no, it's still alive. It survived against the castle fire, just with enough HP. So much so that Nara's got 121 fills, even more than Zaki. Bigger boom than Zaki at this point, but I think Zaki has been raided a bit. There's a Cuman Treb just sitting underneath Japanese Trebs. Why not, really? Why not? This castle's been built in front of Trebs, in front of two Trebs. I don't know, this castle's been destroyed. I'm not 100% sure. All the rally points are coming here. They have to defend this. But they also have to defend this, and there's no army here. It's just Trebs and Samurai at this point, and the odd Hussar. Lots of panicking flares in here in the corner. Zaki just telling everyone, "Oh my God, this is where they're spawning." The Hindustanis don't have fletching. If they had fletching, if they went through all the archer guys, they might be almost in range of that Treb. It'd be close, at least. It's really not great missing out on fletching at this late, because there's such a good upgrade for defensive buildings. And the fact that the Hindustanis haven't made the camels is really suffering. It's really suffering up. There's just 3 Gulams. There's no stables, and GG's called. That was 2v1 for most of that map. Most of that match, really, military-wise, because Sebenico just could not make any military. It was losing Gulams as fast as they were making them. Has relied on the 200 Hussars. I didn't see the stats for the previous game. That would have been for the first game, that would have been such a fun thing to see the stats for. Oh well, let's see the stats for this game. Here's some stats. Yeah, it was just like a 2v. Look how little military there was for Sebenico the entirety of the game. After, I don't know what that was. Was that the first massive Gulams, maybe? I think that was the first massive Gulams, the raiding Gulams. And this didn't make any, had so much food, but didn't make any Hindustani didn't make any camels. And then, it just struggled to make, it just didn't make, it was a 2v1 game at that point. I mean, really a longer Maghreb set than the previous one. It's a really enjoyable game. I wasn't 100% sure what Japanese would do, but yeah, I think I predicted Cav archers as their only option, and eventually they went into them. Fishboom, I don't think it was that important I mean, it did not. I think beat the opposition at the back. I think that's what saved you, Zaki. Mare being the shield that you used to defend yourself was, I think, helped more than the fish boom at this point. Whereas both of the Darksiders were sort of side by side, taking the equal amount of the brunt. But Zaki had a free boom, a completely free boom. Fish notwithstanding, even a free land boom at that point. I think this is quite a hard map for trade, to be honest, because yeah, some markets coming in, but you had to put the markets like here, yeah, here, because here's this bit, that's going to be way too much pathing issues. And same for the Darksiders, but they had no space anyway. Just a bit strange for market to trade events. Okay, yeah, that's just Hostrat. Do you take the damage? Like, I would like to be on. I would like to have Zaki's role there. Be the one that not takes the damage. that's sort of my dream role. So it's 1-0 to Puku Buru. I might be still getting that wrong. I don't know if it's a Kupu or a Puku. Okay, let's quickly hide things. There we go. That's the wrong one. No, there we go. There's the right thing to hide. Here's the right thing to bring up. We have the wrong tab open for myself. We have game 2 of a set. Of this set, funnily enough. You wouldn't expect it to be the same set. That's just illegal. But it's Forest Pond, this game. So Forest Pond, what are we thinking? We're thinking, what's the word? We're thinking poles. That's what I'm thinking. Poles. I mean, Khmer would have been good on this map as well. So it's sad to see Khmer go for you two. So maybe Sicilians. I've seen that as well. Maybe Bengalis. Hopefully Bengalis. If you haven't gone Bengalis, maybe I'm taking points away from you just as a person. So Dravidians. That could be an option. Bengalis is a better option. But I think Poles. I think there's going to be a Poles. I think you wouldn't draft Poles twice if you weren't planning to use it on this map. That's just my general vibes. For the other two, Gujaras. It's not the worst map for the Gujaras. You have berries. Water's not that important on this map. This could be a Gujara map. Gujaras do well against every civ, just generally in 1v1. It's a very 1v1 sort of style map, and Gujaras struggle to lose a 1v1. So that's what I'm thinking. And poles as well, mate. A pole mirror is probably something I expect. They didn't put poles on on the first map. I mean, that's not the best map for pole Maghreb, but I feel like that's maybe a good shout. That's my predictions anyway. We'll see what we go into when we go it. Is it a Polish mirror? No, but no one's gone for poles. No one's gone for Bengalis either. So that I'm a bit terrible at predicting. That's interesting vibes. I mean, feel free to explain yourself, Zaki and Mare. But yeah, Sebeniko, Darkstone's gone for Burgundians. I mean, I wouldn't jump. It doesn't jump to me as a hideout sort of civ. This is very sort of. It's just hideout with a water crossing. It's not too. It's a very weird water. It's very chunky water crossing this time. It's got a bit. It's thick with 2 C's. This water crossing. But yeah, I wouldn't strike as Burgundian as like a massive like hideout civ. Japanese, they have the bit of a water stuff, but like there's no shorefish on this side. There's a shorefish here. It's very unpredictable. There's 2 shorefish here, and there's like none here. So it's a very unpredictable map for what fish you get. So water is not something you can really hope for. Italians for best water civ. I mean, I don't disagree with that. I do love Italians on the water map, but like I said, water's not the most predictable thing in the world. You can't. Like you're lucky that you have shorefish, but Zaki doesn't have shorefish. I've even seen people like this and dock here. You just like dock here. in my Boost set, we played Forest Pond as our home map, and yeah, our opponents docked here in the corners because that's where they can access the fish. Or was it in our straight match? I can't remember. Or was it? No, I think it was the practice match against Tag and Leather. It wasn't in our set. But yeah, pushing its standard hideouts vibes. Deer's in the inside. I think deer mostly spawns in the inside in this generation in Forest Pond. I don't think I've seen an outside spawn yet. What I have seen is sheep. It's the wrong number of sheep. You start with 8 sheep, 4 on the inside, 4 on the outside. Mine at Bruce games, I started in our first game, I had 2 sheep and in the inside. The next game, Bruce had 1 sheep in the inside. So yeah, it's very, always think about it when you're playing Forest, Forest Pond, that you don't always spawn with sheep inside. I guess that you said you breed thrice. We also breed thrice. Was that the bug you had? Was it the sheep bug? Yeah, MD's coming quite late to finding their sheep. You would think that's the position where it could be sniped if people weren't pushing deer, just because, I mean, you just generally push deer, but I think it's always worth thinking about maybe if you steal their pigs. If they haven't, it's not used to the map. Well, it's their home map. I thought they'd be used to it enough to know that their pigs are around. Well, they've only just missed it. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, and Sebeniga hasn't bothered yet. Yeah, I feel like maybe it might be quite good vibes to steal people's sheep at this point. Oh, sorry, Yurizaki, you actually timed out. I apologise. But yeah, do stop writing in caps if it is caps. Yeah. When I finish streaming, I'll make Nightbot even less strict about caps. I don't know what I have currently. I swear I made it quite unstrict. I swear I made it quite unstrict with regards to that, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. Especially when you just typed in all caps and it did nothing to you. So I'm not sure what it is. Maybe just you chatted on your own so much. You're the only one to chat for a while, so that's why. Get everyone else to chat has to chat so Zaki doesn't get banned. I'm just looking at the water while I'm taking a drink. I feel like that's the least exciting. But yeah, okay. Sebenika's done what I said I've seen people do, like dock the corners. I mean, it makes sense when you have no shorefish. Docking the corners gives you a good range to fish, but it doesn't make you more vulnerable to attack because you might forget to wall that back up at the end, or just forget to wall up here. So it's a viable fight. You get the fish much quicker because the fish does run out quickly. But yeah, it could lead to a bit more pressure, unwanted pressure. Typical American, only can speak in caps. Doesn't have an inside voice. I mean, it's not like it's unpowerful, the fish. It's just that you might lead yourself to being attacked from land via the narrow channels. Yeah. Okay, Mayor's also okay. Although MD's doing the reverse thing, docking the enemy, basically that's basically docking the enemy at that point. Not even bothered to do shorefish. So 4 docks. That's what we call 4 docks in this map. It seems. I mean, yeah, the powerfish is great. I would treat this map like Spanish on Nomad, and you just make the 4 fishing ships and just hope they don't, and just you don't care if they die, and just go and land. Fast castle into land pressure after losing water. So Mayor's up to feudal age, getting some fires out. Got the second dock as well, right at the right time on gold as well. 4 on gold, a lovely build. Something that I can always forget to go on gold when I'm having to go water. Yeah, double fire ship. Yeah, these fishing ships are gonna have to run away. I mean, they might accidentally run out of fish to fish, but that's also the downside of fishing so close to your enemy. You get seen. And we also see the scout being annoying. Sebenika's also up, going for 3 fishing ships, fire ships, 4 fire ships. MD's going to go up for fire ships, so will Apuku lose water? Because is Zaki going to go ships as well? Got 3 on guard, so can do. But a bit slower than everyone. Okay, immediate demo by MD, which is, I don't dislike that. So it's going to be, looks like it's going to be a water fight than a land fight. That's why I would like poles. I mean, I guess if you pick poles, you were thinking about doing land fighting. But now triple dock here for the Italians. Italians do get cheaper something or other. Fishing ships, is it? They get cheaper things. Cheaper technologies, I think, as well. Faster technologies from the dock, or something like that. 8,000 Eno. 8,000 Eno. And that's the correct one, right? The 800 is the typo. Now Zaki's fish is dying at the hand of a lot of fire guys, well, only a couple of fire guys, but then they get engaged by Mare. Mare's going to get the winning fight, and also in the right position as well. Went past them, and like Sevenika's going to have to make a decision. Like, what do I do? Do I take the fish or do I take the ships? And the demo comes in really helpful, but I feel like running out to the just sort of a bit hesitant there. I mean, I do love the distraction, like, I'm going to bunch all your fire ships together so the demo kills you all. And now we see MD at the back going like, haha, I'm getting the fishing ships instead now. And the fight's fairly even. Yeah, pretty much dead. I wonder if it's going to be like the after death. It looks like it's going to be the after. Please don't get involved, don't get involved, don't get involved. I want to see what happens. Yes, the after death happened. A double kill, a sort of a double-edged sword. The fire left the ship and killed after the death. We get to see. It's rare to see that, but I love that there's those sort of like dead even fights. So water-wise, 2 fire ships apiece for Dark Side, 4 for Mare and nothing for Zaki. So Zaki's definitely not going. That's the sort of thing I'm doing water. 4 fishing ships, and if they die, they die. Think about going land. See, that's my plan as well. But Mare's doing a great job fighting the water on behalf. I feel like you wouldn't have the eco for that, but I guess Italians make it work. Well, market makes it work. But I don't know if Mare's going to Castlade anytime soon with this many fish. Having to fight 2 water at once. But I don't think fighting water is a bit. I think it's not the best in the world. And we see some vills here, but the scout, no, there was Sebeniko's scout is aware of this. There's going to be a castle drop coming. Zaki has way more than enough stone to castle drop. Has actually had to pull back because there's so many Japanese vills here, ready and wearing. These are warning vills. Now I think that vill in the corner died. I imagine this one that was warning. So Zaki's castle spot is not as favourable as maybe he would have liked. Probably would like to place it here, to be honest, but yeah, Zebeniko was well aware of that, and even it's scouting, using MD's scout to work out where it actually is. Meanwhile, on water, we'll go back to the water fight. 10 fire ships by Mare. 9 total by Darkside, so Mare's really efficiently fighting water on their own. And also go to Castle Age in the back of it, before Darkside. So we have 2 players in Castle Age. And Italians get fire ship. It is cheaper, right? Japanese upgrades. Or is it quicker? It's cheaper or quicker, one of those. So yeah, get Castle Age, get that either cheaper or quicker, get the upgrade to fire ship. I know, because it's not cheaper ship, because Vikings get the cheaper ships, so I don't think that's not, but I think cheaper fishing ships for the Italians. So a lot of pinging to work out where the navy is. But a lot of these Galleys are weak though, but there's more reinforcements, of course there's more reinforcements. We've seen Johnny's come out, some siege, couldn't quite stonewall it out. That is the solution. Stonewall's a good idea, but not being able to stonewall it out is unfortunate. Siege comes in behind. Castle Age comes in for both dark sides exactly at the same time. We'll see if Sebeniko can defend against this pressure with enough. Can't think of the word. With enough sort of minimised loss. Here we see the market placement. That's not bad. Chinese are trying to hit these vills, and yeah, that market's going to have enough HP to put off imminent death for a bit longer, and then going on stone. And these on stone quite nicely. Mare's stone wall in the south. I mean, I like to see that. That's not a nice vibe. Stone wall in the side. You fight on the water, you don't want to actually be attacked on land. Yes, okay, it's cheaper upgrades, yeah. And yeah, obviously, yeah. Clicking it, it's cheaper to advance to each age. Oh, some lovely demo shots. I'm glad I caught these. Or even got those two either side from very far off. That was some good placement skills. Sadly, not enough. You can't win a water war with demos, and pretty much, yep. A Kupu is winning water. It's won water. There's no more water ships. No more water ships, as opposed to those land ships you get. There's no more ships being made by Darkseid. Docks are pretty much all going to be defeated. So we'll see what Mare does with water, because you could land with it, but I feel like this game's really snowballs into like, do you want to? But once you've boomed, pretty much when you get to Imp, you're pretty much involved in fighting. So you always forget to land in this map or walk around the sides. I feel. So it depends if they'll make use of that. Here on the front, Zaki's building a lovely forward castle. This is the optimal forward castle placement now. A Puku, one of the names. Stop, can you, next time, make a name which makes sense. Which isn't two words that sound similar, put together. Okay, GG scored. Yep. Oh, and this was a nice quick set, at least. At least a bit quicker than the first one, so at least I'm finishing at a reasonable time of 11:15. So it was that's a classic Forest Pond game, and we haven't seen Forest Pond much, but fast castle into unique unit pressure wins games. It's free to like hideout. It wins hideout games. We've seen so much like Turk player in hideout. We've seen so much Sicilian player in hideout. We've seen so much. A lot of it's like feudal age, like Ethiopian Saracen play, but Korean, Polish, like castle drop plays really do work on sort of hideout vibe maps. And the water could be thinking people might. I feel like it might be a bit. I would, because we have Poles in our civ list. I think Polish Trush really works on this map because people think about going water and forget about feudal age land. So if you have a good Man at Arm Trush build or Man at Arm Trush civ, I think it's definitely worth considering here. So that's what I think Burgundians like. What do you do as a civ? You sort of hide behind, make mills, and click the button. I mean, just click the. It's not on closed maps. And so yeah, I mean, Sabanika had the best good idea of warning that, but you need stone walls. You need to be much quicker to stop Turks. It's Turks. You know they're going to fast castle you. I feel like it's. I'd definitely say that Mare carried this game. Winning 2v1 water is carrying in any game. I'm not unable to do that. To win 2v1 on water against people with the same elo as me, pretty much. That's absolutely insane. Zaki I say a more brain dead strat of Turk go fast castle go brr. Zaki did carry the first game though, so you both had a carry each. In the first set we cast, we had Namek carrying the first game. Polish just surviving the hyper random for 2 hours purely by Polish might, even though they did lose in the end. They were the MVP. And in the second game, yep, that was a Hindustani carry. MT Explore booming the hell out of everything. So there's the format. There's the 2 sets we've done. We've done sets. We've finished. That's it for me because my voice is going, if you can tell. So that is the games. Thank you for popping by, and feel free to suggest more casts in the future for me to do. Maybe in the 1v1 league, because this is a lot of 2v2 casting. It's actually my first 2v2 casting. Not done this before. I hope I caught all the information out. I think it helps having AoE 2 in my headphones as well, because it happens a few seconds, but things happen a few seconds earlier because of the lag of capture age. That I can hear a Nino of a attack signal, and I can go to it and capture it before it even happens, which is always really handy. You can always go to the attack before it happens, so it saves you having to miss stuff. But yeah, it is difficult to cast 2v2s. But thank you for popping along. I'm going to go on thing and see who to raid. Is anyone? I can raid Daniela. That might be a shout. a shout. So, yep, thank you for coming, and I'll probably do something on Friday, because I'm tending to do these days. That might be ladder play. I want like have a set time to stream. But thanks for coming. My voice is just pretty much dead, so I'll catch you all later.